Hi everyone, Stacy here. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back. So today we're going to dive into the month of April. Now before I dive into all 12 signs, I just want to take a quick opportunity and thank each and every one of you for liking my content, sharing out my content, and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I appreciate the support, and I'm sending the light and the love back to you tenfold, so I appreciate that. And also keep in mind, these are general readings. I cannot stress that enough. So please do not make any life-shattering, life-altering decisions just based on these general forecasts that you find on YouTube land here. So the reason why I say that is because we do not have your personal birth chart sitting in front of us. So it really comes down to what house system you prefer. So in these videos on my channel, I utilize Western tropical astrology. I also use a whole sign house system as well. So again, take what resonates, leave the rest. I do think watching for your rising sign would be the closest match to a personal one-on-one consultation with myself. But if you don't know your rising sign, that's okay. You can certainly watch for your moon sign, your sun sign, or any other planet placement or point that you have in that respective sign to pull all the energy together for you for the month ahead. And of course, if you'd like to work with me one-on-one, you can get in touch with me on my website, and I'll be sure to put the link to that in the description box below. Okay, so let's dive into some highlights for the month ahead. Now, I'm not going to go through all of the mundane transits because I'm probably going to lose you anyway after like 4 minutes. But here they are on the screen if you want to take a screenshot, a snapshot, for those of you that are curious and like to kind of see the day by day Monday transits for the month ahead. Now, again, not an exhaustive list, but this is a general list for the month ahead. And of course, we're going to cover off the lunations this month. So we're going to talk about where the sun is energizing you for the month ahead in April, and also the new and full moons. Actually, both lunations this month are ruled by Venus. So, and she is retrograde technically right now. She is going direct this month, but it's going to be kind of interesting to see how intertwined she brings towards these two luminaries for the month ahead. So just a couple transits I want to draw your attention to. April the 4th, we have Saturn making an exact sextile or opportunity aspect to Uranus. Now, I talk about this in more detail in my Kite Cradle 2025-2026 activations video. So I'm going to link to that below because I specifically hone in on the 3 to 4 areas of life that will be activated for many years to come. So this is sort of like a top of the kite formation that's happening between Pluto and Neptune and Saturn and Uranus. And then eventually Jupiter is going to join the party, and he's going to create a cradle in the sky. But that's not until he hops into Leo in 2026. So anyway, this is a bigger story that's playing out for the years of 2025 and beyond, for that matter, almost up to a decade. So if you want to check that out below, feel free to do so. I won't be diving into that into this video, but the connection here is that Saturn and Uranus are making an exact speaking to each other. I was going to say conjunction, but they're in a conversation exactly this month. So what does that mean? It means that you are crystallizing something in the Piscean area of life and mixing with the god of unpredictability, change, chaos. Uranus is the one that breaks us out of the little teeny tiny box that we put ourselves in, or that other people put us in. And it's kind of like, enough is enough. Now is the time to create the life that you want and desire. Now, if you've been following me for a while, I've been saying this for a while. Ever since Pluto moved into Aquarius, and that started in 2023, and he's officially now in Aquarius for the next 20 years, beginning in 2024, now is the time to take those teeny tiny steps to create the life that you want. And I can appreciate it. I get it. It's not a light switch energy. So don't think that all these things are going to fall into place in April. Now, it might for some of you, because maybe some of you have been putting in the work the last, I don't know, 5 to 8 to 10 years, you know, and now is the time. Now is the time where all this stuff is coming together for you. But for those of us that are just getting started, be patient with yourself and give yourself grace, because none of this stuff is going to happen overnight. But they are perfecting this month, which I find really, really interesting. So reach for the stars. This aspect is going to be with us all year long. Even when Saturn and Uranus hop into new territory, they're still going to be within orb. I use a big orb system when we're talking about Pluto and Neptune and Saturn and Uranus and even Jupiter, because they are slower moving bodies in the sky. So the energy is still there. And for those of us that have ever had Pluto coming up behind our sun, or coming up behind the moon, or coming up behind a personal planet, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not so much about the day, it's about the years and years before the exact conjunction or the exact manifestation happens, right? So anyway, so that's just one thing I want to draw your attention to. But you should get some, we should all get some traction this month. They're kind of showing me a big green light, like a traffic light that's kind of being half blocked out, similar to like what a solar eclipse does. So this month is a green light, but they're showing me it's kind of like only a half green light. May would be a better month to like push forward with force. But I get it. Life does not stop with these planets, right? Planetary retrogrades and aspects and all this fun stuff. It is what it is. You can always reassess and redo something later on down the line, and nothing has to be perfect. It's like if you got to launch something, you got to launch something, right? And just keep in mind, for those of you that are starting a business this month, starting a new job this month, or maybe even retiring this month, or whatever, you fill in the blank, whatever big next step you're having this month, this energy is going to be like a snapshot in the birth chart. I kind of keep forgetting to remind folks that everything has a birth chart. The day you got a job has a birth chart. The day you started a business, or your grandfather or grandparents started a business, that has a birth chart. The day you buy your home, your first home, that has a birth chart. The day you buy your first new car or a new car, that has a birth chart. Everything has a birth chart, you guys. So this is what makes it so fascinating, is that anything big that you start in 2025 and even 2026 and even 2024, you know, you have this incredible potent energy to work with throughout the life cycles of, again, you fill in the blank, whether it's your home, whether it's starting a new family, whether it's getting married, whether it's, again, you fill in the blank, a business, a job, retirement, you know, buying that yacht, whatever your dream is, right? Okay, the next thing I want to point out is another really rare aspect that's happening this month, is Saturn connecting with the North Node. Now, it took me a while to figure out how long ago this happened. So 148 years ago is when Saturn came into connection with the North Node. So that was February of 1877 was the last time Saturn and the North Node came together. So Saturn takes 29 years to go around the zodiac. The North Node takes about 19 years to go around the zodiac. So you see what I mean, how rare it is for these two bodies to meet up in the sky. So what they're also showing me here, this is also squaring the galactic center, by the way, in Sagittarius. So for those of you that have anything around 26 degrees of the mutable energies, the signs that are the experts about letting things go and going with the flow. So this would be Pisces, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Gemini. So check your charts if you do know your charts. I'd say give or take 5 degrees on either side with this energy, because again, the slower, bigger moving planets, I always widen up the orbs. So this is a sort of a karmic release point, is what they're showing me. This could be something that we might not see in the material, tangible world in our personal lives. We might see it on a global scale, maybe something coming to manifestation. They're already showing me that, you know, this kind of started back in February and March, but so this is kind of like they're showing me another chapter. But anyway, this is about releasing something. Like they're showing me this is going to be a big collective purge that's going to be going out to the universe. They're showing me like it's this big blue blast that's like going out and being sucked up by a black hole. That's kind of like what they're showing me. But that means though, we're rewriting our stories, whether we are conscious of it or not. It's sort of like we're literally putting something in writing to the universe. We're inheriting now new karma. We are sowing the seeds or reaping what we sow, however you want to call that. Again, consciously or unconsciously. Some people are working with this energy and aware of it, and some people aren't. So nothing is right or wrong, they're telling me. It's just happening behind the scenes, whether you're conscious of it or not. So this is also a big turning point for sort of the collective body and the planet as well. And also they're even showing me the ripple effect to other universes, other bodies of civilization and things like that. But again, I know I'm losing some of you, so I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole with that. But just know that this is a big purge, a big karmic release. You know, Saturn is about tightening up the belt, but also Saturn is about boundaries and resiliency. And this is like also a touch of the death of the old, like once and for all, and bringing in something new. But they're also showing me this is something we have been building towards for almost like decades. And then now it's starting to slowly ramp up again. So again, not a light switch energy, but just something I want everyone to be kind of conscious of. Even on this day, so this is on the 21st of April, give or take a day or two, depending on where you are on the planet. You know, meditate, take a step back. You know, they're showing me just enjoy sipping on your tea or your juice or your coffee or your water or whatever you enjoy, your beverage. They're showing me just take in that day and be mindful on that day. And maybe some of you will get some insight, some intuitive hits. You know, I could go on and on. But anyway, another very special day that's happening this month. Another one I want to kind of bring your attention to is at the end of the month, we have Mars opposing Pluto. This is the third and final one, but that's until he goes around the zodiac wheel again and, you know, comes into contact with Pluto again. But because of the retrograde of Mars, this has been a bit of a challenge for us personally, but also on a collective scale. So think back to late October, early November of 2024. That's when we had the first opposition. Then early January of 2025, I believe it was like the week of New Year's Day or somewhere around there, where we had the second opposition. Now this is the final one. So another one I want you to be kind of mindful of, especially leading up to April 26th. Not the best time to pick a fight, you guys. I'm just going to put it out there. Okay. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to warn you. Also keep in mind, Mars rules sharp objects and metal as well. So be careful on the roads. Be careful of road rage. That's for all of us. Be careful, like manipulating tools, you know, working in the garage, tinkering in the garage, working with sharp stuff, needles, also like scissors and knives and things like that. Just be careful around the end of April. Just be mindful of what you're doing. If this is just part of your job, you work with sharp objects, sharp tools, just be mindful of this energy. This is the energy of stepping into your power. That's what I do like about this. This is kind of like the final straw. It's like we're done and over with in this situation. You fill in the blank. I'm out of here, whatever the case may be. So it's about power moves on your part and taking control back, your power back, so to speak. So Mars and Pluto can help with that. This could also be a rebalancing between the two axes. So again, look to where Aquarius and Leo are in your birth charts. That's going to kind of give you an idea of the underlying themes of what could be coming up for you this month. Very common to see ego battles, power struggles, again, with you and another person, or again, it could be you bringing this on to another individual as well. Really depends on where this falls in your birth chart. This could be really reckless, unpredictable behavior as well, because again, think about Mars. Mars is kind of the unpredictable, reckless one here, and going up against Pluto, I hate to say it, but you're probably not going to win. Okay, I'm not saying none of us are going to win, but I mean, the further the planet is out, usually they're the ones that kind of supersede the quicker moving planet, right? So Mars is the quicker moving planet. Pluto is one of the furthest planets or bodies out there in the sky. So just know who you're dealing with. And again, they're showing me a school ground, for example, not the best time to chase after the biggest girl, boy, they, them, whatever, not the best time to pick on the biggest dude in the playground, okay? That's kind of the energy they're showing me, because they're showing me Pluto will lay you out. So I'm just going to throw that out there, you guys. Like, I don't mean to laugh about it, but that's what they're kind of showing me from a mentality of ego. That's kind of why they're showing me a school ground, right? And kids and stuff like that, right? We all did some goofy things when we were kids. So again, just something to be mindful of. And also the extra emphasis on mindfulness on the roads, okay? If you're prone to road rage, I think we're all guilty of it at times, maybe just, again, gut check yourself, right? Just notice what you're noticing, or maybe just stay in that day or the few days before this transit. So those are the couple ones that stood out to me this month. And also, of course, we have Mercury and Venus going direct this month, thank goodness. But just keep in mind, Venus and Mars are still in shadow. So that means they're retracing old ground. They're going over their steps that they have taken over the past several months. Now, Mercury, though, will be coming out of shadow at the end of the month. So that is excellent, very, very good news. Ingresses this month, we have, of course, Mercury going back into Aries. This is the 16th of April here. I have it on the slide. Also, April 18th, we have Mars finally moving out of Cancer. Hallelujah. And moving into Leo. So he's been, the last 3.5 months, he's been scratching around in Cancer. And even beyond that, he was in Cancer earlier. But I mean, this is a very, very long stay, and Mars does not like being in Cancer. He just doesn't function well in Cancer. And in Cancer, Mars in Cancer is our emotions rule the show. They run, they're driving the ship. And sometimes that can lead us into very rocky shores, as I'm sure we've all experienced over the past, I'm going to say 3 to 4 months. So finally, Mars moving into a fire sign where I feel like he'll be a little bit more productive. So we'll talk about that. The sun is moving into Taurus this month. So happy birthday to all the Taurians that are celebrating this month. And of course, all the Aries folks that are celebrating this month as well. And then we have Venus going back into Aries as well. I'm not going to talk about this this month. I'll talk about it next month. This month, I'm going to focus on Venus in Pisces and what that could mean. And just a couple of reminders, my Neptune and Aries video, check that out below. Neptune moves into Aries on the 30th of March. And again, monumental moment to be on the planet right now, just like witnessing Pluto moving into Aquarius. He does not change signs very often, and similar to Neptune. Neptune's the second slowest body in the sky. So check that out below if you're curious to learn more about Neptune, or if you just want to jump right to your sign, you can go ahead and do that. And also just a reminder, all my videos have timestamps, except my tarot videos, of course, because they're shorter. So if you want to skip anything or skip around, jump around, go ahead and do that. I have timestamps in the description box below. And what else here? I also have Venus retrograde and a Mars retrograde video up. So also, if you're curious about what those retrogrades meant for you, you can also check that out below. I made separate videos about that. All right, you guys, I think that is all I wanted to chit chat about and remind you about. Let's dive in to all 12 signs. And just another reminder, watch for your sun sign, your rising sign, your moon sign, or any other planet placement or point that you want to watch for. Hey Aries, let's talk about the month ahead for you. And also I want to wish you a happy birthday if you're celebrating a birthday this month. And I want to wish you a wonderful, happy, healthy, and abundant year ahead. So Aries, let's talk about the sun first, and then we'll move into the new and full moons this month. So the sun is still in your first house, energizing you from the inside out. And this is also like They're showing me extra oomph of new beginnings. You know, not only are you the first sign of the zodiac wheel, but also it's sort of like when the sun touches your sign, it's a brand new astrological year ahead. So you kind of get a double dose of that if you are an Aries, depending on what you're watching for, of course. But anyway, so this is about you, Aries. This is about taking your health and well-being back, your vitality, your taking care of your body, maybe getting back into a fitness routine, or changing up your style, or getting at that special haircut or hairstyle or dye job, or whatever you want to do. Aries, spruce up, beef up the image, so to speak. Also, this could be really anything to do with you. So this could be about your relationships. It could be about your business. It could be about your home life. Because again, the first house, anything that happens in the first house really connects to all areas or multiple areas of life, Aries. Now, once the sun moves into Taurus, this is highlighting your second house of income, of earnings, of your savings account, of your bank account. Work, whatever you do for work, whether you own a business, run a business, or if you are working for someone else, or if you're retired. Now, if you're retired, this would more so maybe be a focus on your financial portfolio, whatever that means for you, material possessions. This could be about maybe buying, selling assets. This could be about just a focus on cleaning up your finances or your savings account, or just putting a more critical eye or a focus on money coming in, money going out, and you know, whatever you want to call that, Aries. So again, if you're retired or not working, apply this to your circumstances. Could also be a focus on diet and health as well. Also maybe something to do with the face. Maybe you're getting a new dentures or veneers, or something to do with your teeth or your jaw or your face or your neck or your throat. Could be a focus on that as well. But for those of you that are working or that own a business, run a business, again, it's full on. It's a potent energy coming in here. Now, speaking of that, you also have a new moon here this month, Aries. So I'm going to jump around here a bit. I'm going to jump to the end of April. I have them on the slide here, so feel free to take a screenshot. But April the 27th, give or take a day or two, depending on where you are on the planet, we have a new moon in this area of life. So everything I rambled off there, it's a new beginning in this area of life. So financial circumstances, your savings account, maybe it's time to start saving, depending on your age, of course, or maybe it's time to, again, see your debits and credits. How are things flowing to you? Are you spending within your means, or you're spending outside of your means? You know, if you rely on government sources for that income, you know, getting your taxes done. It is tax season after all, Aries. So things like that could be more in focus. But the nice thing is there's a new beginning here. For those of you, this could be a new job start. This could be a new connection with a partnership in business, or maybe you're hiring a new employee or thinking about hiring a new employee, or again, a new beginning on the diet front, diet, nutrition, how you take care of yourself. Again, it could be something to do with the face, the teeth, the throat. Anything like that could be covered in this area of life as well, Aries. Now, the full moon in Libra is opposing your energies, or whatever you're watching for right now. And this is really highlighting your, not only you, but also your relationship axes as well. So this is happening on the 12th of April, give or take a day or two, at 23 degrees of Libra. So if you have anything around 23 degrees of Aries, this is literally shining a spotlight right on you, Aries. So full moons illuminate not only the house that they're sitting in, but they shine a spotlight opposite to them as well. So again, this could be something about your image, something about your work, something about your vitality and health and well-being, a milestone when it comes to your health, a milestone when it comes to a relationship. So this could be in love, this could be in business, this could be family, friendships, whatever the case may be. This is technically an ending though, like ending, culmination point, time for a new chapter or a next step. It doesn't mean you're going to flush all your relationships, Aries. It just means that one chapter is closing and a new one is beginning. Could also be about contracts, agreements, negotiations, marriage as well could be highlighted in this 7th house. Again, maybe some of you are ending a contract, moving into a contract, maybe connected to business, maybe connected to work, or maybe connected to leasing or buying or selling. Again, Material possessions, property. I don't think I mentioned that with the second house energy, that it, you know, property could be involved here as well. Anything to do with material possessions could be involved this month as well, Aries. Okay, let's see here. So yes, Neptune is officially in your sign starting in April, Aries. So if you want to check out that video below, I put a link to my separate video about Neptune moving into your sign for the next 14 years. Yes, he will be retrograding back into Pisces, but it's just going to be a short stint. He will be spending most of 2025 in your sign. So if you want to learn more about that and learn more about Neptune in general, you can check out that separate video that I created. Okay, what else here do we got going on? So yes, Venus going direct this month. We also have Mercury going direct this month. So Venus in your hidden 12th house, this is really nice for taking a break, taking a step back. This is about rejuvenation. This is about psychological support. This is about mental health support. This is about pampering yourself, Aries, and just taking care of your mental health and well-being. So if you've been struggling in that area of life, especially with Mercury being so close here as well, sometimes Mercury can give us an overactive mind in the 12th house, but also in our first house as well. Well, especially Mercury in your sign, Mercury can be pretty direct, blunt, to the point, and sharp and articulate as well. But I mean, sometimes that can lead to too much, like too much nerves, too much anxiety. So again, Aries, depending on how this energy has been manifesting for you, I would say, you know, just take it easy and give yourself grace and pamper yourself. I know that could be hard for some of you to hear because, you know, usually Aries folks are so stoic and they're like, you know, I can take on anything. I can take on the world. I'm never sick. I'm never this. Well, yeah, I'm not saying put it in the front page paper, you know, but it wouldn't hurt to take a step back, especially while Venus is back in your 12th house. Because again, she's going back over old grounds, and this could be an extra oomph or an extra emphasis on endings and new beginnings with money, with material possessions, with relationships, anything that we talked about, because Venus rules the new and full moons this month. So there's a connection there with her going back over old ground and popping back into your 12th house of endings, of undoings. This could also be an extra emphasis on preparing for a new cycle. You know, Neptune is now in your sign. Saturn is right behind, going to be hopping into your sign too. So it's kind of like, is there something that you forgot about? Is there, you know, for those of you that signed on the dotted line last month for something, maybe there's just something that you missed. Maybe there's just something you forgot about, or maybe you bit off more than you can chew. So now it's time to reassess and consolidate and go back to that person, or go back to your boss or the employer or a project, and reassess, okay, how can I bite this off in little teeny tiny chunks? You know, again, this is going to depend on your circumstances, Aries. I can appreciate this isn't going to resonate for each and every one of you. Also, for those of you that are still working on something behind the scenes, Venus and Mercury back into the 12th house will also help you sort of cross the T's, dot the I's as well. If you're working on anything behind the scenes that's just not quite ready yet to surface. By the way, this month is a green light. By the way, if you want to launch something or put something out there, this month is a good month to do it. May is a better month, but if you have to move something forward this month, you have to. It is what it is. Okay, let's see here. What else? Mars. Yes, your ruler, Mars, finally getting on your 4th house. Aries, yeah, I'm sure you are very, very, very happy about this. This has been squaring your energies for a very long time, especially if you have anything at the late degrees of Aries, so like 17 degrees to the end of the sign. Mars has been squaring these aspects, plus he's been scratching around in your 4th house. But hey, maybe some of you have a brand new shiny home now. Maybe you did a lot of renovation projects on the home front, or again, maybe some deep psychological shifts and changes when it comes to roots, ancestry, where you came from, you know, old places of living, your old childhood home, dealing with parental issues. Maybe something came to the forefront about you as a parent. Maybe there's something there that you need to change or shift or pivot in with regards to you as a parent. Even if you're a parent to a pet, right? They are in our care. Their health and well-being, you know, revolves around us. They depend on us, right? So even if you don't have kids, it's kind of like, do you care for anyone, right? Cancer's about being a caregiver to, you fill in the blank, right? Or if you volunteer, or if there's elders that rely on you, or whatever the case may be, Aries. But the good news is Mars is finally moving out of your 4th house, middle of the month. He's still in shadow, believe it or not, from October. This is a 6-month story that's been unfolding since October of 2024. Think back to November, December of 2024. This is the last time we had Mars in Leo. So old stories might be coming back around with him entering Leo and going back over old ground. Now, this is your 5th house. A lot better energy for you, Aries, because first of all, it's trining your planets, placements, points, but also it's going to reinvigorate you. Again, this is your ruler. This is your planet swimming around in Cancer. He's not exactly comfortable and he can't express himself. And when he does, it comes out sideways and you're basically an emotional mess. I was going to say an emotional rag doll because that's what they showed me. You're like an emotional rag doll and it's almost like you have no control, right? Mars moving into a fellow fire sign is going to really help, Aries. And I think you're going to feel this physically too, and energetically and emotionally. It's like, okay, rubber hits the road. Let's get going now. With that said, though, Neptune in your sign can also make you a little bit watery. But anyway, that's such a slow transit, you guys. I don't want you to worry about that. Plus, Neptune sometimes works on the back end, just like what Pluto does. So sometimes it's not in your face. It won't be in your face all the time. So don't worry about that. Anyway, Mars moving into your 5th house. This is about romance, dating, sexuality. This is about putting yourself out there, taking those risks, spending more time with your kids if you do have kids, bringing back the joy and the fun and the entertainment and just having a good time. Aries, time to cut loose. If you can, of course, if you can. This is a long transit. I think we have, let me see here. We have Mars in Leo for a long time. Yeah, middle of June. He's in here until middle of June now. So lots of energy coming back. You're getting your groove back, Aries. And I do love this for passion projects, hobbies, getting something off the ground. Again, spending time with your kids or helping your kids out with something, or if you work with kids or work with children, drama, arts, theater, awesome energy coming in for those of you that work in those areas. Otherwise, that is about it, Aries, that I was going to talk about in this video. So again, I have lots more videos below. I have the Venus retrograde, I have the Mars retrograde, again, Neptune moving into your sign. If you want to check out those separate videos where I dive into a little bit more information and detail as to what could be coming up for you during these retrograde transits. Otherwise, Aries, enjoy the month ahead and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, Taurus, welcome to your April horoscope month ahead. And Taurus, happy birthday if you are celebrating a birthday this month. So I want to wish you a fantastic year ahead. And we're going to talk about your new moon because that is the day you plant your seeds of intention or you plant your birthday wishes, Taurus. So let's jump in here. Let's talk about the sun first because the sun is still putting a focus on your hidden 12th house. So this could be about sleep. This could be about rejuvenation. This could be about pampering yourself, Taurus. And I know you love doing that. Nothing wrong with that, right, my friends? So could be putting a spotlight on your mental health. Like, how are you talking to yourself? How are you taking care of yourself? You know, how are you talking to yourself when you look at yourself in the mirror? I hope nothing but positive things, Taurus. Put those sticky notes on your mirror in your bedroom, your bathroom, wherever you need them, in your kitchen, when you're grabbing that morning cup of coffee and you have a really beautiful message waiting for you. Things like that, Taurus. I know it doesn't sound grandiose and, you know, but you'd be amazed when you shift your mindset. It's just amazing how things just start lining up in your life. This is also about manifestation, right? Wherever you put your focus, your attention is what reflects back at you tenfold, Taurus. So that's what it's all about when the sun is moving into your 12th house. Also, or sorry, still transiting your 12th house, I should say. Also extra focus on, you know, endings, wrapping things up. You know, when the sun touches your sign, Taurus, this is technically kind of like a, well, if it's your birthday, so if you're watching for your sun, this would be a new solar year ahead. So it's about wrapping things up. You know, what can you let go of? Can you start cleaning out the closets? Can you start making room for the new energy coming in? You know, vacuum your carpets. I know that sounds weird, but that's what they're showing me. Vacuum your carpets, dust, clean out the corners of your home, ring a little bell, smudge, do your thing, Taurus, because yeah, it's time to welcome in something new when the sun touches 0 degrees of Taurus on or around the 19th of this month. So it's all about, yeah, endings, new beginnings, letting things go, preparing for a new cycle. This could be about, also your dreams could probably be really active too while the sun is moving through the 12th house. Neptune there as well is really going to enhance this for you as well, Taurus. And speaking of that, I made a separate video about Neptune moving into Aries. So if you want to check that out below, I'll be sure to put a link in the description box below. Same with Venus retrograde, your ruler, by the way. I made a separate video about that. Also Mars retrograde. I made separate videos about that. So if you're curious or if you want a refresher, feel free to hop on to those videos and check that out. Okay, now once the sun moves into your first house, this is all about you. This is about re-energizing you from the inside out. Focus is on whatever you want, because anything can happen when it's in the first house, as you've learned with Uranus in your first house. So if that's not a wake-up call, I don't know what the hell it would be for you, Taurus, over the last, what, since 2018? Uranus has been in there. But anyway, the sun will energize you, put the focus on you. It's all about you. So carrying through some of the similar themes I talked about, taking care of yourself, your health and well-being, your body, your diet, nutrition, your career, your work, retirement, moving into retirement, your savings, because you are a financial sign as well, Taurus. So what do you want to focus on between middle of April to middle of May? What birthday wishes do you want to set intentions for? Is it your career? Is it your home life? Is it something to do with your relationships in love or business or work? Do you want to move? Do you want to change careers? Do you want to start a side hustle? Like whatever it is, Taurus, now is the season to hone in on that and journal about it or write about it or think about it or whatever, reflect on it. But the focus is you. Like this is about you when the sun energizes you from the inside out. And I really hope you feel this too, Taurus. I mean, you might be in a bit of a funk with your ruler going backwards, but I mean, she will be going direct by the middle of the month, similar time to when the sun hops into your sign. So I'm hoping this will give you kind of like a double boost, a double, sort of like, what am I trying to say? Like a jazz up. I don't know how else to say it, but like extra energizing energy coming into your life when the sun and Venus both are activating you once again. Now, speaking of you, let's talk about this new moon. I'm going to jump around a little bit here, so forgive me. All these are on the slide, by the way, if you want to take a screenshot. New moon in your sign on the 27th of April, give or take a day or two, depending on where you're on the planet, of course. And if you have anything around 7 degrees, give or take a couple degrees, I would say, this is going to be unfolding into this new beginning. This is the day, Taurus, that you set your birthday wishes. I don't care what if your birthday is this month or next month, this is your new moon. So this is about, again, setting your birthday wishes to whatever you want, like what we talked about. And if you have anything around 7 degrees, if it's your moon sign, or sorry, if it's your moon, this would be something to do with your emotional body. Again, nutrition, oh my goodness, diet, health. I don't know why I can't talk today. Your home life, your home living circumstances. I also heard something about a pet, maybe something about a pet. If it's your sun sign, it's your career. And again, health, vitality, or retirement. Again, apply this to your circumstances. And if it's your rising sign, again, it's you, it's your image. It's how you carry yourself into the world. It's sort of like the glasses, the lenses that we wear. That's the rising sign. And it's also how people see us. So it's also about first impressions too. Could also be connected to career, Taurus. So set those new moon intentions of whatever you want to bring into focus, whether it's 6 months from now or 12 months from now until your next birthday cycle. At least I would say set like 1 to 3 goals or wishes or whatever you want, Taurus, whatever you want. Okay, let's jump to the full moon now. And by the way, both of the luminaries this month are ruled by Venus. So I do feel like this could be an extra impactful month for you and the Librans out there because you're both ruled by Venus. Plus she's retrograde. Let me see here. When does she go direct? On the 12th. Okay, the day of the full moon in Libra, she goes direct. How ironic is that? Anyway, I just feel like both of your signs could have an extra special month ahead of you because this does involve your ruler. Anyway, full moon in Libra, this could quite frankly be about relationships, especially with Venus standing still in the sky in your 11th house. This could be about friendship circles, people that you hang out with. So again, reassessing this, right? Because Venus going backwards in this area of life for you. This is all about going over old ground, which I'll get to in a second. But the full moon is highlighting a relationship or multiple relationships, whether it's in love or business or friendship circles or family or relatives. There's sort of a culmination point or an ending. I'm not saying you're going to flush everybody in your life, Taurus, but there could be one relationship in particular you have to change in some way, shape, or form. Either how, well, it's about you, Taurus. So I'm going to say it's how you approach this relationship, right? You're in the driver's seat when it comes to this relationship. So what needs to give, what needs to change? Also, this full moon is in your 6th house. So this is about work. This is about co-workers, people that you surround yourself with at work. It's also the environment at work, the atmosphere at work, the culture at work. If you own a business, run a business, this is about people working for you, working with you. Again, people that you surround yourself with by you hiring, or maybe you inherited people. Maybe you bought a company and you inherited a bunch of people. People could be leaving the workplace at this time or new people coming in. It could go either way. 6th house is also about health and well-being as well. So again, I know I've mentioned this multiple times. There's a reason why I'm mentioning it multiple times. If I see it multiple times in the chart, I'm going to say it multiple times. So that means there's extra emphasis on the possibility of that coming to fruition this month, or additional focus with regards to whatever I'm repeating myself with, if that makes sense. So health and well-being, your pets are also in the 6th house. So this could be a culmination point, or maybe your pets need an extra hand this month, or a little bit of TLC this month, or extra attention this month, Taurus. Also, 6th house is also like rental units. So like if you're one of those folks that own rental buildings or rental houses or apartment buildings or something like that, there could be, again, changes, culmination point when it comes to those transactions as well, Taurus. Okay, let's see here. And also the moon is shining a spotlight into your 12th house as well, because full moons activate both axes. So again, we talked about that 12th house, extra emphasis on endings and new beginnings, letting something go, awakenings, revitalization, mental health and well-being, the subconscious, something that was subconscious coming to light, things like that could be coming to fruition. Also, anything that you're working on behind the scenes, things like that, Taurus. Also a good month to launch, not a bad month to launch. I would wait until Mercury and Venus are direct at least, but if you can't, you can't. They're still showing me this is a positive month to start moving forward with things, because we'll start to get that traction. Now, yeah, Venus in your 11th house. Let's talk about that, because that's where she's backing up, put it at a standstill, and then she's going back over old ground. So again, Taurus, there could be something that happened maybe in February, last week of January, and sometime in February, something could be coming back around here. Venus in the 11th house usually means gains from this house. So this could be speculation. This could be siblings, this could be extended friendship circles, this could be just benefits coming in from other people, could also be gains from the career as well for those of you that are working. But those of you that aren't working, this could still be gains coming in from a pension, 401k, RSP, tax-free savings account, whatever, right? From a financial because this is your planet. So this is gains coming in from other people to you, for example, or reassessments, because again, she's going over old ground. Now, Mars is moving on to Leo. Now, Mars in Cancer wasn't making horrible aspects to you, Taurus. I mean, still Mars in Cancer can be challenging because our emotions rule us. Our emotions rule our actions and motivation. So that can definitely be challenging. But now that Mars is moving into your 4th house, this is making a square to you, Taurus. At some point, Mars is going to be here until the middle of June. So this is about changes on the home front. You know, and I have to say, Mars is a double-edged sword. He can be irritable. He irritates and inflames wherever he goes. But he can also laser in and focus in on home projects. So renovations, moving, anything that you need to get done around the house, cleaning out the closets, like what we talked about. Mars in the 4th house is really going to help you lean into that, Taurus. But do watch out for conflicts in the home. This is a tough one with Mars in the 4th house. It can be very irritable on the home front. Even if you live alone, it could be your neighbors. Again, it could be siblings, cousins, neighbors, relatives, like anyone that you're connected to in your local community. Because again, the 4th house is also family. So it could be family, it could be your kids, it could be, you know, you fill in the blank, your parents. You as a parent, Taurus, might be a little bit more cranky pants. I'm just going to throw it out there because this is the parental axis, right? So your kids might be like, oh God, mom, dad, you guys are cranky. You know, that's Mars. That's just unfortunately Mars. But there's a reason he's here. There's a reason he treks through this area of life. And also think back to November, December of 2024. This is when Mars just dipped into Leo before he retrograded back into Cancer. So there could be some themes coming back from November and December. So keep that in mind, Taurus. Otherwise, that's all I was going to highlight in this video. Like I said, I have a lot more videos down below if you want to check those out. Otherwise, I wish you a fantastic month ahead, Taurus, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Gemini, let's talk about the month ahead for you. So let's start with the sun. So the sun is still in your 11th house. So what is the 11th house? It's gains from your 10th house. So whether you're working or not working, apply this to your circumstance. So this could be literal gains from your career, your vacation, whatever you do from a day to day, or this could be gains from, again, like financial matters, right? A pension, RSP, 401k, tax-free savings account, whatever the case may be. This is gains coming in from the top of your sky. So that could be highlighted this month. Also, friendship circles, new friends, old friends, people you haven't connected to in a long time, with Venus and Mercury going back and forth in this area of life. I have no doubt you've connected with people from the past or people that you haven't seen or spoken to in a long, long time. So that could be the focus. And also, focus is just in general on the kinds of people or the types of memberships, associations that you affiliate with, that you associate with. That sort of laser focus. 11th house is also older siblings as well, Gemini, if you do have any older siblings. Or they're also showing me relatives or extended family members could be coming up this month as well. 11th house is also social media, putting yourself out there as well, reaching a higher, wider audience as well, Gemini. That could be the focus this month. Or again, with Mercury and Venus going back and forth in this area of life, could be about reassessing that website, reassessing how you market yourself, or connecting with the right people of how to gauge a wider audience or how to put yourself out there, or learning new technology. YouTube, Instagram, or brushing up on your skill set, maybe trying some new things new platforms, whatever the case may be, Gemini. So that could be some of the focus this month. Now, once the sun moves into Taurus, this is your hidden 12th house, where you also have a new beginning in this area of life as well. The 12th house is very hidden. It sometimes is not in your face, is what I should is what I should say. So this could be conscious or subconscious Taurus, but this is all about preparing for a new cycle, aka preparing for when you get a new moon in your sign next month, which we'll talk about, because that's where you set your birthday wishes and intentions, and also when the sun energizes and touches that 0 degree of Gemini mark. It's going to energize you from the inside out and shine a spotlight on you. But for now, you're preparing for that. You're wrapping up loose ends. You're wrapping up, cleaning out the closets, cleaning out the clutter, making room for that new energy to come in. This is about endings, a focus on endings, more so about new beginnings. But the new beginning could be about taking care of yourself better, right? Planting those seeds of intention of, you know what, for the year ahead, I'm going to block in my calendar a day to pamper myself, or a day to read a book, or a day to go on a drive, or a day to take a vacation, or 2 or 3, whatever the case may be. So that could also be the ending and the new beginning that's sort of happening in this 12th house area of life. This is also possibly a focus on where your time, your energy, your effort, and even maybe your love, where is it going? And is that being reciprocated? Like, what are you getting out of that? And I don't want to make it sound like you have to get something out of everything that comes your way, but I mean, are you giving too much, Gemini? Again, a really nice time to reflect when the sun moves into Taurus for you. Getting more sleep, getting more rest, taking care of yourself. This is also, your dreams could be really vivid. With Uranus in here since 2018, I have no doubt about it. You've had paranormal experiences. You've heard some weird things. You've seen some weird things. You've experienced some weird things, or paranormal things, I should say, or spiritual or mystical or magical or out of this world, quite literally things. With Uranus being in here for such a long time. So again, the sun is going to illuminate that. And especially when the sun touches Uranus as well, that could be another sort of awakening or an aha moment or a download that you could be getting this month as well. This is also the house of your hidden gifts, talents, and abilities as well, Gemini. So everything I said there, yes, it's a house of endings, but you have a new moon here. So it's also about taking on something new in this area of life, or again, reworking something or reshifting something. Even if it's, again, as simple as, blocking time on your calendar every single week to do, you fill in the blank. Just make sure it's for you though. I'm not talking about running the dogs here and taking the kids here and doing that. No, like this is for you, Gemini. That's what I'm talking about. Now that new moon, I have it on the slide here if you want to take a screenshot, but yeah, April the 27th, give or take a day or two, is when you have that new beginning that's happening in this subconscious area of life. This is also psychological, shadow work. If you want to work with, excellent time to work with a therapist, actually connect with a therapist that will sort of stand the test of time and be here for the long haul, the long run. Because again, you have Saturn and Uranus supporting you with this new beginning as well. Now, let's jump to the full moon in Libra. This could quite literally be about any relationship in your life because it is the sign of Libra. So this is love, business, work, marriage, contracts, agreements, negotiations, you name it. Friendships, family, you name it. This is an ending, a culmination point. Now, I'm not saying you're going to flush everybody in your life. This could be about, actually, some of you, I just heard loud and clear that this is like an ending of a client that you maybe you kind of want to cut off, how do I say it? Like get them off the books, cut them out. Like maybe they're just not a very positive client or something. Maybe it's time to cut them loose gently, of course, gently, or however you want to do that. I know that's specific for someone, so I do apologize, but I heard it loud and clear. But so again, with that said, this could be the ending of a friendship or a client or a contract or an agreement. But it's also shining a spotlight up to your 11th house. So again, reassessing friendship circles. Like The people that surround you, do all of them lift you up and light you up or not? And if the answer is, well, they don't, they're kind of this, they're kind of that, well, then maybe it's time to put some space between you and this person that's not so good. Same with an older sibling. The 11th house is older sibling. So do you have an older sibling that's like critical and negative and, you know, maybe they're not going through a great time, or this could be a next chapter in their lives, you know? But you know, we all have those family members that sometimes don't support us and don't lift us up, and that's okay. That's okay. That they're doing them. They're doing them. You're doing you. It's just that put a space between you and them. It doesn't mean you need to hang out with them like 24/7 and listen to their crap, right? Or listen to them at all. Just put a space between them, and again, throw up those boundaries. You got Saturn at the top of your sky. Time to throw up boundaries in multiple areas of life, Gemini. So this full moon can actually touch on multiple areas of life for you, but I'll bring it back down to the area of life it is technically sitting in, which is the 5th house. But like I mentioned, it is shining a spotlight in your 11th house because it's about the entire axis with full moons. It's not so much about where it's sitting. It could illuminate both ends of the spectrum. So 5th house for you actually makes nice aspects to your Gemini planets placements point. So if you have anything around 23 degrees of Gemini, this is shining a spotlight on that placement. So if it's your sun, could be something about father figures in your life, could be about your career, vocation, retirement, whatever the case may be, whatever you do on a day-to-day basis if you're not working. If it's your moon sign, it's something to do with home, family, foundation, place of living. And if it's your rising sign, quite literally could be about anything, your health, your well-being, vitality, relationships, like what we talked about. So 5th house is all about romance, dating, sexuality, self-expression, hobbies, creativity, your children. This is about bringing the joy back and the fun back in your life, Gemini. So whether that is wrapping up for some of you and now it's time to get back to work, or vice versa. It's kind of like, okay, I need to, again, going back to that new moon in Taurus, bring back something for you, pamper yourself. So see what I mean? It could go either way. It depends on your lifestyle and how this is personally hitting your birth chart. Also, the full moon and new moon this month, I find it fascinating that they're both landing in Venus ruled houses. So the dispositor of these luminaries is Venus, and Venus is sitting at the top of your sky. So this could be extra emphasis on career, reputation, retirement, you as a parent, money, resources, finances, material possessions, savings. What is your relationship to savings? Do you cringe when I say that? Or do you have a good relationship with money and that doesn't bother you? Buying, selling, career moves, career reassessments, business reassessments. So these luminaries could bring a lot to the forefront this month, especially for you, Gemini. And at least you have the full moon working in your favor, but that doesn't mean this is still an ending is what I'm getting at. There's still something here that you need to cut away, Gemini, in order to make room for the new that wants to make its way to you, but it's like, where do I fit in, right? You need to give it space, or you need to hold space for this new beginning that's trying to poke and come in, Gemini. Okay. So we talked about Venus at the top of your sky. So yes, she's going to continue to bring in rewards, I hope, for you at the top of your sky. Because again, it depends on if you're working or not. So if you're not working, again, this is gains coming in to you from a parent, from an investment, from an inheritance, from 401k, RSPs, pension, an employer, your spouse, you fill in the blank. This is gains coming in from, maybe gains coming in from your parents, gains coming in about you as a parent, you know, being recognized as a parent or being recognized as a volunteer. If you volunteer, or again, however you spend your day to day. And let's see here. Oh yes, Mars. Mars is finally moving out of your second house. Now, Mars hasn't exactly been making aspects to you directly. This is where your personal birth chart comes in. But scratching around in your second house for the last 3.5 months, Gemini, this probably has costed you some money. It's made you very determined to go after money. But yeah, Mars in the second house also makes us burn a hole in our pockets, if that resonates. You know, I'm not saying all of you are horrible with money, but that's just what Mars does. Mars is a double-edged sword. He gives us the laser focus to go after what we want, but he can't really do that in Gemini, or he can't do that in Cancer. It's emotional. The emotions have been ruling us for such a long time. It's been exhausting. Maybe you felt this, maybe you didn't, Gemini, but now Mars is finally moving into Leo and away from your financial house. So for those of you that have been struggling with finances, that is coming to an end, okay? Just stop burning through money. Stop burning through money and put that 25 bucks away into a savings account, or again, cut off that person that keeps bleeding you dry, whatever the case may be, Gemini. But with the third house now being activated of Leo, this is about social media. This is about the internet. This is about reconnecting with family, friends, loved ones, community, relatives, extended family members. This is about education. This is about learning something new. This is about upgrading your skill set. Actually, the Mars in the second house is good for that too. Maybe some of you learned something new or bought a course way back in 2024 and finally you were able to get to it the last 3.5 months, or at least start scratching the surface on learning something new. So Mars is very good for that as well. That's going to continue with Mars lighting up an educational sector for you as well. Third house is also about travel. But like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, if you watched the beginning of the video, I would just caution you, Gemini. You are the sign that, you know, kind of rules transportation. Mars being in the third house of transportation, Mars ruling metal, opposing Pluto, please be careful traveling. So you are one sign that this stands out to me clearly. Please be careful, whether you're driving by bicycle, by scooter, anything metal, okay? Vehicle, planes, trains, automobiles. Please be careful. Please be mindful. I know you can't control an airplane, and I know you can't control a train, but you know, think of it this way. You could be walking down the aisle and you clip your hand on something sharp and it slices your hand or something like that. You know, it could be bumps and bruises as well with metal and sharp objects, Gemini. I'm not trying to scare you, by the way. I'm just, if I see it, I see it, folks. I'm not here to scare or instill fear. I love astrology for the fact of like giving you a heads up. That's how I utilize it. I don't utilize it to doom and gloom. If I see a tough aspect coming up, it just makes me more mindful. And then if something does go sideways, it helps us kind of bring in humor. Like, oh, yeah, that happened. I just stubbed my toe and smashed my knee into the table. Okay, yeah, you know, like things like that, Gemini. So I'm trying to make this light and not like deep, dark, and intense, okay? So I hope you can appreciate that, where I'm coming from. But anyway, Mars here will still activate this area of life. And give you the passion, the motivation, drive to go after what it is that you want. Mars is also going to bring in opportunities, you know, into your career, into your home life or place of living, or whatever you want, because this is coming in from the third house to your first house. Whatever you're watching for right now, Mars will invigorate your planet placement point, whatever you're watching for in Gemini. Otherwise, that is about it, my friends. If you want to learn more about Venus retrograde, Mars retrograde, Neptune moving into your 11th house, you can check out my separate videos down in the description box below, where I dive into a lot more detail, and you can learn a little bit more about Neptune and Venus and Mars, among the other videos I made as well, if you want to dive into those as well. All right. Enjoy the month ahead, Gemini, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, Cancer, let's talk about the month ahead for April And let's start with the sun. So the sun is still at the top of your sky. So for those of you that are working, this would be about your career, about your boss. If you do have a boss, or if you own a business, run a business, this could be about you, putting you in the spotlight. This could be about recognition coming in towards you. This could be about bonuses, promotions, opportunities to climb the ladder, or maybe opportunities to hire more people in your business. Again, this really depends on your day-to-day when it comes to career, work, vocation. So that's where the spotlight is, with the sun highlighting your Aries area of life. But this could also be you as a parent, could also be in the spotlight, or your parents could be in the spotlight, because this is also a parental axis here as well, Cancer. Let's see here. Now, once the sun moves along to your 11th house, this is all about friendship circles. This is about making those connections with new or old friends, or people that you've known for a long, long, long time. This is about putting the spotlight on who do you surround yourself with. So whether it's groups, affiliations, associations, whether it's professional or personal, this could be about union memberships that you belong to. This is also about older siblings as well. You do have a new moon here, so everything that I'm rambling off in your 11th house here, you also have a brand new beginning coming in this area of life. So new friendship circles, older siblings as well. If you do have older siblings, this is also the house of gains. So gains coming in from the career sector. Now, if you don't work, this would be gains coming in from a financial source. So whether you rely on government or alimony or a partner or RSPs or 401ks or pensions or tax-free savings account, or whatever the case may be, this is benefits coming to you, towards you, from past actions that you've taken in your career. Or again, if you've never worked in your life, this is again gains coming in or focus coming in from what you've done in the past. So again, alimony, government checks, or maybe you sell stuff on the side. You know, that could be a thing as well, like hobbies. So Taurus is a very financial house as well. So finances could be in the spotlight in some way, shape, or form, Cancer. Let's see here. Let's go back to that new moon. So new moon in Taurus on the 27th of April. So I'm kind of jumping around here a bit. Feel free to take a screenshot of all the dates I have on the screen here. So this new moon again could bring in a new friendship group, a new association, a new affiliation, Cancer. Could also be about changes with your relationships to these people, right? People that you surround yourself with. Maybe it's time to not do so much or take on more with these groups and associations and affiliations, because this is also about your role with these individuals as well. This could be about networking. This could be about social media. This could be about reaching a wider audience. For those of you owning a business or running a business, this is a time to market and put yourself out there, because this is new beginnings, new seeds are being planted in this area of life. And again, Taurus rules this area of life. So this could be very beneficial from a gain perspective, Cancer. So I do love this for you. Again, a new beginning with an older sibling. This could, you could hear news of an older sibling, fill in the blank. They're doing XYZ, they're doing something new that is lighting them up from the inside out. Let's see here. Could also be about somebody from afar. I don't know if you have a sibling that lives far away from you, or foreign lands, foreign shores, foreign cultures. There could be a connection here as well to this new beginning, because Venus is in your 9th house of higher education and teaching and travel and all that stuff. I'll get to that in a second here. So that's the new moon in Taurus, making really nice aspects to you, Cancer. So if you have anything around 7 degrees of Cancer, this is going to fold in with the new beginning. So if it's your sun, it's something to do with your health, vitality, career, or father figures in your life. If it's your moon, it could be about a mother figure in your life, a new beginning for her. And again, you fill in the blank, whoever that could be, a mother type figure, or it could be new beginnings on the home front for you, or new beginnings with your children or your kids or something like that, or extended family members. And if it's your rising sign, it's anything to do with you, right? It could be your relationships, love, business, work, Your health and vitality, how you carry yourself in the world could be changing. Your lens, the glasses we wear, that's the rising sign of how we view the world, could be changing a little bit. So that could be intertwined with this new beginning on the 27th. Now let's hop to that full moon in Libra. This is at the bottom of your sky, Cancer. This could quite literally be about a relationship, a new relationship or an old relationship in general, because this is in Libra. So what is Libra? Libra is all about relationships. They live and breathe relationships. If you know a Libra, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So this could be about love. This could be about business. This could be about work. This could be about family. This could be about friends. Anyone that you're connected to, Cancer. This is your one-on-one relationship. So something is coming to an ending. Something is closing out. Something is like there's just one chapter closing, and then you're starting a new chapter that's connected to that 11th house that we talked about. So down at the bottom of your sky, this is extra emphasis on home, place of living, property, buying and selling, or again, something about your children or something about you as a parent or something to do with your parents. There's an ending, a culmination, and time to move on to something new. Now, it is highlighting, full moons always highlight the entire axis. So you have to look at both sides of the pie, so to speak. So we talked about it. This is shining a spotlight on your career, Cancer. So you could be ending a job and moving into a new job, or this could quite literally be retirement, because the 4th house is also retirement and place of retirement as well. It gives you clues and hints as to where you could actually retire, Cancer, as well. So whether you're moving into retirement, thinking about retirement, or moving into a new business or a new acquisition or a new job, or hiring new people, or again, something to do with your parents, mom, dad, authority figures, grandparents. You as a parent could be changing. Maybe you're walking into a new stage. Maybe you're becoming an empty nester soon or soon enough. Again, lots of possibilities here with a full moon at the bottom of your sky, highlighting the top of your sky. So it could be public or private, could be behind closed doors or not. And again, it could be recognition coming in this month for you as well, Cancer. Big or small, all is welcome, right? All is welcome, Cancer. Okay, sorry, my nose is just itchy, killing me. Let's see here. So those are the moons. Now let's go back to Venus. So Venus in Pisces, she is going direct this month, spending a lot of time in your 9th house. So what is the 9th house? It's an educational house. So this is about learning something new, or about teaching, coaching, mentoring, reaching a higher, wider audience. I know I'm repeating myself here, but 9th house, 11th house has hints of, again, 9th house is reaching for the stars. This is the house of the gods. This is about channeling. I also heard devotion to something, because yeah, this is religion. This is belief systems. This could touch on spirituality. This is also about ethics, philosophy, again, university, college, whether you're a teacher or a student. This could be about writing and publishing, again, reaching that higher, wider, bigger audience, Cancer, and traveling, foreign lands, foreign shores, foreign cultures, people that are different from you, people that are far away from you. Venus in here usually brings gains in this area of life, or also smooths things over in this area of life. If any of you are working through some legal matters, legal pursuits, legal battles, Venus here will help with that situation and hopefully smooth things over and get a resolution to you, hopefully by next month. If it doesn't come together this month, hopefully next month, when she's out of shadow, out of this area of life, and then trucking along in your 10th house. So that is Venus. And also everything I rambled off might also be connected to these new and full moons that I just talked about, because she rules Taurus and Libra. So this whole month is about Venus ruled energy, Cancer. So anything I rambled off there about the 9th house could also be connected to this full moon in Libra on the 12th and a new beginning coming in for you on the 27th, on or around the 27th, Cancer. Okay, last but not least, I want to talk about Mars because, oh my God, Cancer, how has this Mars in your sign been? I am just, I feel for you folks. I don't know if this has been easy for you, or maybe some of you have loved this. I really don't know, because Mars is a double-edged sword. So he could cause inflammation in the body, but he can also help you fight off germs and bugs and, things that the kids bring home and stuff like that. But he can also make you bloat and like swell up, right? Because he's heat, he's inflammation. So Mars is finally moving on, Cancer. 3.5 months he's been in your sign. It's actually been longer. I'm just counting 2025. This retrograde started back in, he officially went retrograde in December, but his shadow started way back in October. I believe he started at like 17 degrees of Cancer. That's when he started in his shadow, meaning that's the degree point he would have came back to, Cancer. So if you have anything from 17 degrees to the end of your sign, Mars is going back and forth, irritating and inflaming and making you move on something, making you take action on something, possibly in multiple areas of life, especially being in your first house. This is all about you. This is all about laser focus. Like, how do you want to change your circumstances, whether it's career, whether it's retirement, whether it's your home living situation, whether it's exercise routines, diet, taking care of yourself better, or relationships. Did you cut anybody loose, or did you make space between you and another person? This could manifest in so many different ways, being in the first house, Cancer. But good news is Mars is moving on into Leo. Now, this is your second house of money and earnings, though, Cancer. So I will caution you here, because Mars in the second house can make us go after money and be very motivated and devoted to, okay, I'm going to be starting this new job, and here's my goals, and here's this, and here's that, and I'm going to go after what I want. But Mars can also make us spend money in that second house, Cancer. Especially Leo rules your second house, so you like lavish, luxurious things, because that's what Leo also kind of brings in as well. Like, Leo is the king and the queen of the zodiac, so it's like go big or go home with Leo, and it's about spending those big bucks, right, Cancer? And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I just want to bring it up for those, just to be mindful of. Now, for those of you that you can afford it, that's totally fine. But for those of you that are trying to save for a rainy day and kind of put yourself on track, especially if you're retired and you need to stay within a financial bubble, circumstance, whatever you want to call it, just something to kind of give you a heads up about. But Mars here, though, second house is all about work. It's about material possessions. It's about your health and well-being. Like, how are you feeding yourself? It could be, maybe some of you are going under the knife and getting some work done on your face, or getting new teeth put in, dentures or veneers, or dental work in general. Or maybe some of you, again, are getting some beautification done on the face, the neck, the throat. That would be this area of life as well. I would just, if you're doing anything like that, I would just ask that maybe you wait until May. I think that would be a better time frame. But again, if you have to have surgery, you have to have surgery. That's different. I'm talking more beauty stuff. If you can kind of wait till later in the month, or better yet, May, that's when Venus and Mars will be supporting you a little bit more when it comes to beauty enhancements, is what I'm trying to get at. Not surgeries and stuff. That's different. If you need emergency surgery, you need emergency surgery. It is what it is. Let's see here. For those of you that want to end, cut, sever a job, that could be a possibility, especially with all that energy at the top of your sky. Venus will eventually move to your 10th house. Mercury is moving into your 10th house. Things like that will help find you a new employer, a new job, a new, you fill in the blank. If you're a business owner, this could be attracting in clients, especially clients from afar, with Venus up in your 9th house there, Cancer, as well. But again, Mars in the second house will make you go after whatever it is that you want. It will energize all of us, because again, when Mars is in your sign, he doesn't function well. He's overactive from an emotional standpoint, so our emotions have been very raw to the surface, and it doesn't take much to set anyone off over the past 3.5 months with Mars being in the sign of Cancer. Also challenging on the home front too. You know, Mars scratching around in your sign, which represents home, heart, family, foundation, mother, father, authority figures in our life, you as a parent, our kids, anyone we live with. So yeah, that is finally dissipating. Mars is moving on, and I hope this will bring you some relief, Cancer, because like I said, I don't know how some of you have been handling this. It depends on how this has been impacting your chart personally, but anyway, Mars moving on. Just a reminder, if you want to learn about Neptune moving into Aries, what that means for you, I'll put a link in the description box below. You can check out my Neptune and Aries video for the next 14 years, and also Venus retrograde, Mars retrograde, all of those video links are down below in the description box as well, Cancer. All right, enjoy the month ahead, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Leo, let's talk about the month ahead for you. So let's first chat about the sun, your ruler. So he is still in your 9th house of higher education, of teaching, of book publishing, of writing, of religion, spirituality. This is the house of the gods, Leo. So this is about reaching a higher, wider audience, bringing in that, you know, spirituality, or shining a spotlight on your belief systems, your ethics, philosophy. This could be about you thinking about going back to school, or you thinking about learning something new, or this could be about you. Maybe you are a coach. Maybe you're a mentor, a teacher, a coach, an elder, passing down your knowledge to other individuals as well, Leo. So that's where some of the focus could be this month. Also, the sun, once it moves into Taurus, this is the top of your sky, Leo. So this is putting the spotlight on your career, your status, your reputation, possibly public recognition, and all about you, Leo. So is it time to reassess the career? Is it time to shift out of a career? Is it time to change up, shake up something to do with your business? Is it, you know, time to think about retirement or saving for retirement? Or maybe highlighting pensions, RSPs, 401ks, tax-free savings accounts. Like, sort of, what are your financial next steps as well, Leo? Because Taurus rules this area of life. So it is tied to your financial well-being as well. Could also be about material possessions for you as well, Leo. So that's sort of the areas of life that the sun is illuminating. Now, going back to your 10th house is where you have a new moon this month, which I'm really excited for you, Leo. I think some Leos out there are going to be changing up their career or business or status, like what you're known for in the world. I think that's going to shift and pivot and change. Also, I forgot to mention, the sun is illuminating a parental access for you as well, Leo. So this could be about you as a parent, or mother, father, authority figures in your life, or grandparents as well, Leo. Sorry, my nose is itchy. So that could also be the focus this month as well, Leo. And for those of you that aren't working, again, apply this to your circumstance. What do you do 9 to 5? What do you do on a day-to-day? Do you volunteer? Do you take care of the grandkids? Do you walk dogs? Do you paint houses? Do you fill in the blank? It's what, you know, do you pour yourself into hobbies? Or are you a full-time retiree and you are living the high life? That's, you know, nothing to worry about or complain about there, Leo. But then take this as putting a spotlight on your day-to-day activities, or perhaps, again, your financial well-being or material possessions. Because again, this is the sign of Taurus after all as well. But anyway, going back to that new moon, Leo, not to jump around, I apologize. You can take a screenshot, all the dates here on the slide as well. New moon at the end of the month, 27th of April, give or take a day or two, depending on where you are on the planet. Also, Leo, if you have anything around 7 degrees, you are going to feel this new beginning the most. That's why I'm thinking for some of you, this could be a new job, a new career opportunity. This is a fresh new start at the top of your sky. Maybe a fresh new start to the reputation, or reaching a wider audience. Or again, you fill in the blank, whatever you're reaching for when it comes to a vocation standpoint, or again, it could be reaching for retirement And this is you putting in your resignation saying, you know what, I'm going to retire, or I'm going to go down to part-time, or I'm going to go down to 1 day a week and mentor students or mentor apprenticeships or mentor apprentices. What are they called? Those people that are, you know, learning the job, new on the job, the students. So again, Leo, apply this to your circumstance, but I love this new beginning in your career house. If this is your true 10th house of career, Leo. And again, if it's your sun sign you're watching for, it's something to do with your health, vitality, well-being, your work, or father figures in your life. If it's your moon sign, it's something to do with new beginnings on the home front, new beginnings with your kids, new beginnings with female figures in your life, or new beginnings on the emotional front for you, Leo, or something to do with your health and well-being. If it's your rising sign, it really could be anything. New beginnings with relationships, in love, in business, or friendships. It could be new fresh starts for you in multiple areas of life, because if it's your rising sign, it really could be anything, but it could also be your status, your reputation, what you're known for, Leo, could also be changing and shifting with this new moon as well. Now, let's jump to the full moon in Libra. Now, this is happening on the 12th of the month, give or take a day or two. And Leo, again, if you have anything around 23 degrees of your sign, this is also shining a spotlight kind of into your, or bringing in opportunities, I should say, into your planets, placements, points, whatever you're watching for. Now, at the bottom of your sky, again, you're going to hear me repeat myself here. It's an educational axis that's being lit up at this time. It's not so much about just the house. Full moons always, always, always illuminate both sides of the pie, both sides of the house, so to speak. So your third house and your ninth house. So this could be about, and again, full moons are an ending culmination point. For some Leos out there, you're getting new neighbors. I definitely heard that loud and clear. So there could be movement quite literally in your neighborhood. This could be you, Leo, but this could be, again, maybe you're getting new neighbors, or neighbors are moving out, neighbors moving back in. There's some sort of movement in your local vicinity, local environment, so to speak, or community, I should say. Third house is also about siblings, cousins, neighbors, extended family members. So maybe it's changes in a sibling's life, or changes in a relative's life. This is also a travel axis, Leo. So maybe you're starting to move about a bit more and travel more, whether it's short or long distance. We talked about that ninth house. So again, higher education, teaching, traveling, foreign lands, foreign shores, foreign cultures, religion, spirituality, belief systems, ethics, philosophy. That could also be coming in to the picture around this full moon as well. But again, this is an ending, not so much a new beginning, but an ending in with regards to one of these, something to do with your skill set, learning something new. Now it's time to apply it, Leo. If that pertains to you, or if that applies to you, now it's time to put those skills to work, is what they're saying. No more apprenticeship for you, Leo. It's time to move into something brand new in this area of life. Maybe some of you are just getting a new vehicle. Third house is also transportation and how you move about. That could be changing as well. I mean, if you get a new job, your route to work is going to change, or maybe you get to work from home, or maybe you get to do a hybrid thing. Like, something is definitely changing on the local vicinity front that could impact your home life as well, Leo, if that makes sense. But yeah, travel is definitely highlighted this month as well, with the sun being at the top of your sky. Not a bad month to travel, I would say, Leo, especially with Venus going direct and Mercury going direct. I mean, you're not ruled by those planets, but the luminaries are this month. So the new moon and the full moon are both ruled by Venus this month, which I find really interesting. And Venus is moving back and forth between your 8th house and your 9th house, which I'll focus on the 8th house this month, and then we'll talk about Venus moving into your 9th house next month, where she's going to be going back over old ground. So again, with Venus ruling these luminaries this month, it could also be intertwined with relationships, love, business, again, friendships, friendship circles, money, resources, material possessions could also be folded in here in some way, shape, or form, Leo. So again, I know I'm repeating myself, but I'm doing that on purpose. If I say it twice, that means there's just more extra oomph going into these storylines that could manifest for you this month. Okay, let's go back to Venus. So Venus in the 8th house, this is kind of an interesting placement. She usually brings in gains in this area of life. Now, Leo, this is your house of shared gains, shared assets, shared material possessions, shared business endeavors. So this might be a nice boost, Leo, for your partner's income or resources or finances. Now, if you're not connected to a partner, this could be about, again, money finding its way to you from other sources. So this would be your clients. This would be the company you work for, bonuses, tax rebates, tax returns. This could be about inheritance. This could be about alimony. Like, how does money flow to you, Leo, whether you're working or not working? Apply to this to your circumstance. Venus should bring you a boost in this area of life, but as I always say, Venus in a financial house can also make us, I think, spend money. And you are the sign where you like to go big or go home. You like the lavish luxuries, the royalties. And there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. I'm definitely not. I'm a Leo. So I'm talking to myself here too. We like the finer things in life, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as long as you're living within your means, right? 8th house can also be mortgages. Getting a mortgage, by the way, qualifying for a loan, getting that car loan, getting that mortgage, consolidating your debt. Oh my God, your debt. There we go. Debt. Basically a financial boost, even if it is consolidating debt or getting a mortgage or getting a car loan, car payments, whatever. Leo, maybe some of you are paying off debt. This could go either way. It just depends on your circumstances. Now with Saturn in here though, Saturn's definitely been making you, I should say, tighten the belt in this area of life, which is not a bad thing, Leo. Businesses start with Saturn in the 8th house. I've heard a lot of success stories with people saying, well, I started a business while Saturn was in my 8th house. So, not a bad thing. Saturn will make you rein in the expenses though, where Venus makes you spend it, Mars makes you spend it, which we'll talk about, but Saturn makes you rein it in and make sure that you're building on a solid foundation that's going to stand the test of time, Leo. Okay, let's see. This could also be, you benefiting from your partner, right? If you are connected to a business partner or a love partner, obviously if your partner gets a raise or your partner gets a big bonus, whatever, that also benefits you, if I didn't already say that. Now, yes, let's run to Mars here, because Mars has been scratching around in the 12th house for way too long, 3.5 months, and that's just in 2025 that I'm counting. So Mars is finally moving on and away from that 12th house. But let me tell you, Leo, 12th house is all about dreams. It's about working on something behind closed doors. It's about cleaning out the closets, literally and psychologically, spiritually, shadow work, getting into a really good sleep routine. Leo, we're finally going to get our sleep back once Mars moves into our 1st house. So this is amazing. I love this. We're going to get our groove back. We're going to get our jam back. We're going to feel the energy just running through our veins, so to speak, Leo. So I personally am looking forward to this, and I'm hoping you are too, I guess, depending on how your birth chart is. But at some point, Mars will hit your rising sign, your moon, your sun sign, invigorating it with life force, vitality, and laser focusing in on something or chasing after whatever it is that we want. Mars in Leo is very determined, very willful. Like if you have natal Mars in Leo, it's pretty tough to bring you down. Like you can get knocked over a lot, but you'll never stay on the ground very long. You will constantly get back up. You will lead. You will put your heart into it, your passion into it, your drive into it. And this is what Mars is going to do transiting Leo over the next 2 months here. So middle of April till middle of June, he's going to be in Leo. Now think back, Leo, to November, December of 2024. That's when he actually dipped into the first few degrees of Leo. And then he backtracked back into Cancer. So there could be stories coming back around from November and December, whether this could be about you, your health and well-being, your vitality, something to do with your career, something to do with your kids, your living circumstances, home, family, foundation, roots, ancestry, something to do with that coming back around. Also, the ninth house, like Mars rules your ninth house. So maybe something to do with what we talked about already: foreign lands, foreign shores, foreign cultures, book publishing, writing, education, teaching, traveling, training, you name it. That could be coming back around for you, Leo, in some way, shape, or form. So again, take what resonates and leave the rest. But Mars in here, it's go time, Leo. It's go time. I'm getting the same feeling of like the sun pouring into Leo for the first time. It's sort of gonna just re-energize us to just go after whatever it is that we want and desire. Otherwise, Leo, that was about it that I wanted to cover in this video. If you want to learn more about Neptune moving into your ninth house of Aries, or if you want to learn more about this Mars retrograde or refresh your memory on Mars retrograde, or if you want to learn more about the Venus retrograde, check out my separate videos I made below, and you can find those in the description box. Otherwise, enjoy the month ahead, Leo, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Virgo, let's talk about the month ahead for you, starting with the sun. So the sun is still in your 8th house of joint finances or shared resources, property, assets, money, inheritance, investments. It's also the house of the day-to-day mundane stuff, right? So taxes, debts, loans. It is tax season after all, Virgo. So it's they're also showing me tying all that stuff into a pretty bow, which actually you enjoy. So as I'm saying that, could be mundane, but I think it's things that you enjoy because you're very analytical and you like having your ducks in a row. Not saying the other signs don't, but yeah, it's almost like you specialize in just making sure everything is, well, wrapped up in a pretty little bow, Virgo, right? Or at least you try, right? You try. So that's going to be some of the focus this month, or again, more so focus on your partner's resources if you are connected with someone. If you're not, this could be about how money flows to you, okay? So is it through an employer? Is it through RSP? Is it through pension? Is it through 401k? Is it through the government? Is it through alimony? Is it through your ex or something like spousal support or alimony or whatever you want to call it, Virgo? It's how does money flow to you? Is it through clients' fingertips? You know, do you own a business, run a business? So this would be your clients in the 8th house giving you money in some way, shape, or form. So that's one of the focus, I think, this month, Virgo. So definitely a financial lens for the month ahead for you. Now, once the sun moves into your 9th house, where you also have a new beginning. So the 9th house is all about your belief systems, religion or spirituality, higher education, teaching, long distance traveling. So foreign lands, foreign shores, foreign cultures. Traveling as well, like traveling globally or long distance could be on the menu for you this month as well, or next month for that matter. This is dealing with people from all walks of life, all over the globe. This is also the house of the gods. This is reaching a higher, wider audience. For some of you, I'm hearing networking loud and clear, pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, thoughts of maybe going back to school or learning something new could also be on the menu. So with all that I rambled off, the sun is not only energizing this area of life for you or shining a little spotlight on this area of life, you also have a new beginning here. So new beginnings in this area of life. I'm jumping around here. All the dates are listed on the slide here if you want to take a screenshot, but we have a new moon in this area of life for you on or around the 27th, depending on where you are on the planet. So this is a new fresh start in this area of life, Virgo. Or again, Taurus is a financial sign. So this could also be about beauty, for those of you actually that work in the aesthetics, like something to do with beauty enhancements. This could be a fresh new beginning with your clientele, or maybe attracting in a new client base as well, because Taurus rules that, something to do with the face, beautifying the face or the veneers or the teeth or all that fun fancy stuff. So it could be about that as well, and attracting in new clients marketing yourself, again, reaching that different, wider audience outside of your region or outside of your place of living, if that makes sense. If you're able to do that, right? I mean, if you're a writer, a blogger, this is amazing energy coming in. You know, if you've published books or anything like that, amazing energy to reach that higher, wider audience and set those, plant those seeds of intention. But Taurus also rules material possessions, money, finances, resources, finding their way to you, Virgo. So you could also utilize this new moon as like a financial new beginning as well, like finances coming in from long distance, like places far from you, basically. Like the only example I can think of at the top of my head is like just finding a new client base. Or for those of you working for an employer, maybe it's about finding a job that is global. You know, you can work from home and you get to travel the globe or something along those lines. Or marketing is really coming in for you this month, Virgo. So new beginning there. If you have anything around 7 degrees of Virgo, that's going to layer in with this new beginning. So if it's your sun sign, it's your career, or it could be father figures. If it is your moon sign, this could be about retirement. This could be about letting something go. So you can bring in that fresh new energy. This could be about your place of living, your home, your family, your foundation, your kids. If it's your rising sign, it really could be about anything. Your relationships, love, business, family, work, friends, whatever you want to call it, relatives. This is a fresh new image that you're kind of giving yourself if your rising sign is around 7 degrees. This is about incorporating something new about you. It's like the lens we wear. It's also about first impressions, Virgo. So maybe you're changing what you're known for, or you're changing your image in some way, shape, or form. Okay, let's jump to, yeah, it's a very Venus themed month ahead, you guys. I'm jumping around here and forgive me. Venus rules the month ahead. And the reason why I say that is because the full moon and the new moon are both in her territory, right? And she is retrograde for the first half of the month, but then she's direct for the last half of the month. So even at this full moon in Libra, that's happening in a financial area of your sky, she's at a standstill on that same day. So, sorry, my nose is driving me nuts. Every time I turn on the camera, it's like my nose is itchy. I'm so sorry, you guys. So if I could take it off, I would. It would look pretty weird, right? Anyway, going back to Venus, that's what I mean. It's a very Venus-themed month ahead. So in general, these luminaries could also bring in anything to do with relationships, right? Full moon in Libra could be about love, business, work, contracts, agreements, negotiations. Some of you could be changing jobs this month because the second house is where you're getting this full moon in Libra on or around the 12th of the month. And again, it's not impacting you directly, Virgo, but still, she's going to be bringing in the themes of love, of money, of beauty. If you work in the beauty industry again, like this is full on when she goes direct. This is reassessing your business on multiple levels and maybe incorporating in a new service of some kind, okay? Or again, if you're an interior decorator, feng shui consultant, any Venus-ruled career, food, diet, nutrition, financial advisors, bank advisors, anything like that could be really beneficial for you this month. But with that said, you're being called to reassess something to do with your career. So Virgo, this could be the ending and a new beginning of a career. You could be signing on the dotted line with a new contract. Not for all of you, obviously, but that could be a possibility. Well, with Saturn in your 7th house, I have no doubt some of you have gotten married already. Saturn in the 7th house could bring in marriage, could bring in a very serious partnership, whether it's in business or in love. Or again, you're signing with the right company or the right person. Like I'm just thinking of like the book companies, right? Like I'm thinking of like Hay House or things like that, right? Like you could be signing in with a big company. If you're an entrepreneur, you could be signing on with someone that's going to stand the test of time, right? Like you're going to be bringing in royalties way past your gravesite, if that makes sense, Virgo. So Anyway, going back to this full moon in your second house, ending, culmination point in a relationship, in a friendship, in a work endeavor, or with a client, or with material possessions. Second house for you, Virgo, is something to do with material possessions, buying, selling. This could also be about your skill set, Virgo. Maybe it's time to, or maybe you're wrapping up learning something new and again, applying something on the job front, and that this would be a good time to start this month. Or again, vice versa. For those of you that want to go back to school or learn something new, again, you got a new moon in that 9th house. So your skill set is really being highlighted here, Virgo, this month, about wrapping something up that you've already learned, no more practicing, start applying it, or vice versa. Maybe it's time to freshen up those skills or think about something that you could bring to the table so you could apply for that promotion, get a different job. For some of you, specifically, I heard about getting like a certain driver's license, like your AZ license or something, maybe to drive truck or something along those lines, or a pulp truck or a bulldozer or something along those lines too, like a license. I heard license. So getting a license to do something maybe different when it comes to your vocation. Now, if you're not working, if you're retired, well, again, apply this to your circumstances. How is your cash flow? How is your money flow? You know, debits and credits. How is money coming in and going out? Is it equal? Are you living within your means? Do you want to maybe take up a part-time job to make ends meet, or dive into hobbies, you guys? Like dive into hobbies or whatever lights you up from the inside out. If you can't afford to travel, or if you can't afford this or that, well, stay at home. You don't need to like be a global traveler to like do anything, right? Dive into hobbies, learn something new, putter around in the house, tackle something day by day, like challenge yourself when it comes to, if you are retired, or get out and about, meet new people, start a dog walking service. You know, I could go on and on, Virgo. So apply this to your circumstances if you're not, whether you're working or not working or whatever the case may be. Okay, now let's, you know, I do want to go back to that Venus really quick. She's backed into your 7th house. She'll be there for the rest of the month. So again, this is sweetening the pot with regards to your relationships. You know, wherever Venus goes, she usually brings in benefits to us. So for those of you that want to meet someone special, maybe you already have, like I talked about, but for those of you, you could meet or perhaps already met someone new, or maybe you want to put yourself out there. Great time to do so with Venus in the 7th house, and same with Mercury is there too, right? You know, you can make that online connection with someone special, or connect in, you could meet somebody at work. You could also, what was I going to say? Like meet someone in your local vicinity, your local community, like at the bar, at the club, farmer's market, whatever, wherever people gather in your local vicinity, local community. But again, the typical retrograde rules apply, right? And you're ruled by Mercury. So you might not see the person as they are. You're getting to know them, things like that. Just once she goes direct, you'll be able to see this person's true colors anyway. So I'm not too worried about a Virgo, unless you just met someone and you're like ready to hop a flight to Las Vegas right now. That's when I would say pump the brakes, okay? But again, you do you. It is what it is. That's what divorce is for, my friends, right? Or separation or whatever. I know I'm making it sound like a cakewalk, and I know it's not. But anyway, Venus here should really help smooth things over in your relationship sector. That's my point. Whether you're dating someone new, whether you are in a marriage or not in a marriage, or if you're single and you're not looking, this is really nice for just any relationship at work, with your boss. This is going to make you look a little bit more appealing to Virgo, believe it or not, because it's just going to smooth over all your relationships. There's something here, though, that you had to reassess with Venus backing into this area of life. So it's also about reassessing your contracts, your agreements, your negotiations, maybe reassessing or renegotiating a raise or something along those lines, or reassessing all of your relationships, you know, and how do they lift you up? Do they not? That's kind of a gut check here with Venus going back and forth in your 7th house, Virgo, but not a bad thing at all. Definitely not a bad thing at all. Now I want to hop to Mars. because Mars has been in your 11th house for a very long time. So did you cut away and sever any sort of relationships to other people? 11th house is also a very relationship oriented house, but this is also about friends, friendship circles, older siblings, people that you hang out with. 11th house is also gains that you get from usually the career, but from those of you that aren't working, this would be, again, gains from 401k, RSPs, pensions, whatever. Unions are covered in the 11th house as well. Social media, reaching a higher, wider audience. But Mars in here, though, double-edged sword. So yes, he gives us the motivation, the passion, the drive to go after this 11th house, but it also can irritate in this area of life, Virgo. So anyway, if you had to cut anyone out of your life or distance yourself from anyone, that's what Mars was helping you to do in this area of life. Now Mars is entering your 12th house. So think back to November and December of 2024. Old themes could be coming back around because this is when he stationed in December and went backwards in Leo and then hopped into Cancer. But this particular month and into May is when he's going back over old ground. So think back to that time, something might come back around. Now the 12th house is a very hidden house, Virgo. So this is all about awakenings. This is about spirituality. This is about psychological matters or psychological support for yourself. So please don't beat yourself up, meaning Virgo, while Mars is here. Notice what you're noticing and do not talk negative things to yourself because Mars can kind of be harsh in this area of life and loud, very loud and proud in Leo. And there's nothing wrong with that. But in the 12th house, it can be so loud you can't get sleep at night. So Mars in here, I'm going to caution you right now. Sleep patterns could be disrupted. Okay, I just dealt with this for over 3.5 months. Yeah, it put me in a better sleep routine because Mars could really put you on overdrive when you're trying to go to sleep. I'm not trying to scare you, by the way. I'm just trying to give you some advice because I just went through this. So make sure you have a solid sleep routine. So you might wake up a lot, you're very restless, or night sweats, because again, Mars can heat up the body, especially being in a fire sign, Virgo. But again, just make sure you take care of yourself during this time as well. Inflammation in the body could occur. But this is about letting go. This is about, again, cutting, ending, severing something that just no longer fits in your life that you don't want to carry with you anymore, Virgo. And again, you might know what I'm talking about. What happened in November and December, anything psychological, anything behind the scenes could be coming back up for some reassessment and some review, Virgo. So again, nothing to fear. It's just, I think the biggest thing will be a sleep disruptor, but it's going to make you get into a better habit or routine. And it's also going to give you the motivation to like clean up your house, clean out the closets, clean up the garage, get rid of things that no longer are needed around the house, right? Mars also rules your 3rd house. So it could be about technology, could be about transportation, how you get around, traveling, educational pursuits. Excellent time to work on something behind the scenes. This is also the house of your hidden gifts, talents, and abilities, Virgo. So if you want to work on that over the next couple months, not a bad time to do it as well with Mars in your 12th house. And let me see here, Mars also rules your 8th house of finances too. So again, working on a side hustle or hobby, or trying to clean up your finances, resources, reassessing your finances and resources, money going in, money going out. How is that happening? Maybe something to do with your partner's finances or resources, or maybe you find out, this could also be something coming to the surface too. Like you're finding out, this is the house of secrets. So Mars in there is going to shake things up. No more secrets. Things are going to be coming up and out of the surface, from the surface as well. So anything hidden might come to light as well in this area of life, Virgo. But anyway, that's all I was going to cover off today. Check out my videos down below if you want a refresher on Mars retrograde or Venus retrograde or Neptune moving into your 8th house. If you want to find more about that, you can check out all my videos down below. Otherwise, Virgo, have a beautiful month, and we'll see you back here in May. Bye for now. Hey Libra, let's talk about your focus for the month ahead, or where I think your focus is going to be for the month ahead. The sun lighting up your opposite sign of Aries. So this is all about relationships. You're laser focused in with regards to your relationships. What kind of relationships? Well, that's where you fill in the blank. So whether it's a marital partner, marital relationship, common law partner, somebody that you live with, business endeavors, contracts, agreements, negotiations, that's where the focus is going to be, or continue to be, I should say, for the month of April. Now, once the sun moves into your 8th house, this is a financial lens now. And this is more so about focusing in on your partner's resources, your partner's finances. So not so much about you, Libra, but it's kind of like, okay, where is their money going? How is their money coming and going? You know, debits and credits. This is also about taxes. It is tax season after all, so not a bad time to make sure you get your taxes done, Libra. This could be tax rebates coming towards you. 8th house is all about how money flows to you, Libra. So whether you're working or not working, this could be through an employer, this could be through the government, this could be through alimony, again, spousal support. However it is that money comes into your hands is the 8th house. This is also about shared assets and shared resources. Libra, you are one of the signs. You know this. If you play house with someone, well, guess what? You're sharing all your assets with someone, right? And vice versa. If you move in with someone, you know, what's that saying? What is ours is theirs, what's theirs is ours, whatever. Whatever that saying is, Libra. But you get my drift. Shared property, shared assets, shared resources, shared material possessions. You know, signing on the dotted line, taxes, debts, loans, mortgages, paying off debt, consolidating debt, all of that could be the focus for the month ahead, Libra. But the point is definitely a financial lens. Now, if you're not attached to anyone, if you're single, this is again about how money comes to you. So whether you're working or not working, how does money come to you? Does the state or the province or the country that you live in support you? You know, again, are you getting spousal support? Does a partner support you? Does a kid support you? Does, like, you know, it goes on and on and on here. Does a parent support you, Libra? Like, who supports you if you're not working? Otherwise, 8th house would be your clients paying you money, you getting money, financial resources from some angle or lens. Or it could also be about selling material possessions and then you gaining money that way. Now, with all that said that I rambled off, you're also having a new moon in this area of life, this financial area of life, Libra. So there's a financial new beginning starting here. Now, for some of you, I feel like this could be about consolidating debt, paying off debt, but also inheriting more debt. I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. Okay, it is what it is. You know, you can't evade taxes and what's that? Taxes and death. You know, that's the 8th house, quite literally. It's like taxes and death are in the 8th house. So I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It is what it is. If you need a new vehicle, if you need a mortgage, that could be coming down the pipe this month for you as well. Or if you need a loan, a $10,000 loan, get your business off the ground, or loan money to a parent or a child or whatever the case may be, or a spouse, that could be coming down the pipe this month as well. But extra oomph and emphasis on this financial area of life for you, Libra. And again, it's a new beginning. So it could be a fresh new start, or again, consolidating something and getting back on track in this area of life. Now, if the financial lens doesn't make sense, Libra, this could also be about investments, inheritance, occult stuff, taboo stuff, fear, power, control. This could be about shadow work, going deep. It's a very psychological house as well. So this could be about healing. This could be about connecting with a counselor or somebody that you can talk to about these deep, dark issues, Libra. And we all have them. I'm not picking on you guys. Like, we all have this kind of energy. It's just that there's so much emphasis on this 8th house for you this month. That's going to definitely be some of your focus. Okay, let's jump to your full moon. So Full moon in your sign, Libra, something's coming to an ending, something's coming to a culmination point. It's shining a spotlight across the street from you in your 7th house, which we talked about. So guess what? Yes, focus on relationships. Whether this is in business, in love, people that you're attached to, it's anything to do with your one-on-one connections. It could be family, it could be friends. I just heard for some of you a living situation or a living matter might come up this month as well. But this is a closing out. This is welcoming in something new, wrapping something up, welcoming in something new, Libra. Now, if you have anything around, this could also be a culmination point of a contract, by the way. Contracts, agreements, negotiations in business, work, clients, whoever you're connected to. If you have anything around 23 degrees of Libra, you're going to feel this full moon the most, I would say, but regardless, you'll feel this full moon. If you're a Libra, you're a Libra. So if you're watching for your moon sign, this is a culmination point on something to do with the home front or your family or your kids or your grandkids. If it's your sun sign, it's your career or father figures, father-like figures in your life, something coming to an ending or a culmination point in their lives. If it's your rising sign, this is your identity. This could be tied into your career or not. It depends on how, if you live through your sun sign or your rising sign. Everybody lives through these aspects a little bit differently. So your rising sign is what you're known for. Again, partnerships is emphasized here, marriage, common law, dating, seeing new people, rubbing shoulders with different people, all walks of life, networking. It's the lenses we wear. The rising sign is all about first impressions, right? It's how we see the world and how people see us as well, Libra. So that could be coming up for, again, this is an ending, a culmination point. You're moving into something new. Now let's talk about your ruler. She is going direct this month along with Mercury. It's a very Venus themed month ahead, Libra, because both of the luminaries this month are ruled by Venus, your ruler. So, and she is literally at a standstill when you have this full moon in your sign on or around the 12th of the month. So Venus right now is backtracked into your 6th house. And again, 6th house is very busy house. This is the house of being of service. So how are you being of service to society? Do you work? Do you not work? Who takes care of you? Are you taking care of other people? How are you surviving? How are you living? How are you paying the bills? Again, Venus rules money and relationships. So there's something here in this 6th house you're reassessing. Your health. How are you taking care of yourself? This could also be about pets. They could need some extra attention with Mercury and Venus reassessing this area of life for you, Libra. Something to do with your image. Again, anything to do with the face, the teeth, you know, your image. The thing you look at in the mirror, basically. You know, beauty enhancements, beauty treatments could be coming up for you this month as well, or thoughts of that as well. I would say hold off if you can until May, but anyway, it is what it is. As long as she's direct, but yeah, I would hold off on any serious beauty enhancements or treatments until May when she's totally out of shadow. But anyway, health and well-being, diet, pets, work, co-workers, work environment, the culture of the workplace. Maybe it's time to get a new job. Maybe it's time to reassess where you're working. Are you happy? Are you satisfied? Maybe it's time to apply for that promotion, Libra. Again, it depends on your circumstances because the 6th house is very busy. It touches all walks of life. This is your day-to-day. And Mercury and Venus coming back into this area of life is just asking you to reassess something in this area of life. Now let's go to Mars, because Mars has been scratching around at the top of your sky for quite some time. Now this is in your 10th house. So this is about career, vocation, reputation, retirement, mom, dad, authority figures in your life, family matters, place of living, your kids, your grandkids, you as a parent. Maybe you actually, Libra, maybe you as a parent have been a little bit more If you've gotten some feedback from your kids, maybe you've been a little bit more crotchety. That's just what Mars does. It makes us a little bit more irritable, especially on the big angles, Libra. Obviously, this isn't for all of you, because if you don't have kids, you don't have kids, right? But I'm just thinking, Mars in Cancer, the sign of the home, the place of living, people that you live with, right? Like, it can cause some irritation on the home front, right? It can cause some irritation in the career front as well, Libra. Maybe your boss has been really difficult to deal with. So maybe this isn't about you. It's about the people that you surround yourself with or the people that you work with, right? Mars does rule your second house as well. So yeah, maybe you've been finding it difficult on the work front. So that is coming to an end. Or Libra, maybe some of you cut and sever a job. Maybe you moved into retirement. Maybe you're like, yeah, I've had enough. I'm going to move into something different. I'm going to retire, or I'm going to switch jobs, or I'm going to cut off that client, or, you know, again, you fill in the blank. There's something here that you possibly cut and sever when it comes to your status, your reputation, what you're known for, your job, your 9 to 5. Or again, you as a parent, maybe something has shifted in you when it comes, what does parenthood mean to you personally? Now, Mars moving into the 11th house is a little bit nicer for you, Libra, because he's bringing in opportunities from this 11th house. So this is going to activate your friendship circles. You'll probably become more active, see friends a lot more. It's people that you surround yourself with. So it's unions, memberships, associations, personal or professional. It's also networking. This is the house of gains as well. Libra, I would just caution, watch out for burning a hole in your pocket, so to speak. Mars is one of your financial planets, so Mars moving through 11th house of gains, you could, you know, be spending that big cash payout that you got, or whatever the case may be. You do you, Libra. I'm not here to preach or tell you what to do, but again, Mars is a money planet for you, so that means you burn through money. You earn it well. You know how to go after money and resources and finances and material possessions, but you can also, you know, lavish yourself quite well as also Libra. And again, I'm not here to judge. There's nothing wrong with that. Mars here can also again irritate and inflame. So maybe this is also older siblings. So, you know, you might get into it with an older sibling. You might have a bit of a cat fight or whatever you want to call it. You might need to distance yourself from a friend or a family member, again, an older sibling, or a union. Again, apply this to your workplace as well, a professional association. This is networking. Maybe you go to a networking event, somebody rubs you the wrong way, things like that, Libra, because Mars is fantastic. If we didn't have Mars, we'd all be marshmallows on the couch. But Mars can also irritate, right? That's what he's there to give us, the motivation and the drive to just also distance ourselves from things that we don't particularly like, Libra, if that makes any sense at all. Let's see here. Yeah, 11th house is also your hopes, your wishes, your dreams. So Mars in here is really going to make you go after your goals, which is a good thing. Go after your hopes, your wishes, your commitments, your long-term commitments in particular is the 11th house. Social media is up here as well. So watch out for being a keyboard hero. That might come back to bite you. Or again, if you're like me and you're on YouTube land, you might get that coming back towards you. Obviously, just ignore it. That's what I do, because that's them, right? They're hashing out something. It's not about you. It's about them always. If someone lashes out at you or takes their shit out on you, it's always about them. It's never, ever, ever about you, Libra. It's always about what they're going through right now. But it doesn't mean you have to put up with it, right? If a friend or family member lashes out at you, it doesn't mean you have to take it. I don't think you will with Mars in the 11th house. I think you're going to put your foot down and be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm not taking this anymore. And you're just going to walk away, or whatever the case may be. Okay, Libra, what else? I think that was about it. I was going to talk about, if you want to learn more about Neptune in your 7th house for the next 14 years, opposing you for the next 14 years, you can check out that video below. So Neptune in Aries, and also Venus retrograde, Mars retrograde, if you want to brush up on or reflect on what was happening during these retrogrades, you can check those links out below. Also, I just realized, yeah, Mars this month, think back to November, December of 2024, something could be coming back around from Mars's angle there. That's the last time he was in this sign for you, Libra. So something could be coming back around for, again, reassessment, going over old ground, and cutting away what no longer works in this area of life, or again, making sure you surround yourself with people that lift you up, light you up. I would recommend to distance yourself from individuals like that. But you do you, Libra. Absolutely. Everyone is going to experience this differently. This is where your personal birth chart comes in. So, Libra, enjoy the month ahead. I would say this is your month ahead, Libra. Because again, this entire month has Venus written all over it. That's your ruler. So enjoy the month ahead, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey, Scorpio, let's talk about the month ahead for you and where I think some of your focus will be this month. So the sun, let's start there. The sun is still in your 6th house. Now, this is a busy, busy, busy day-to-day house for you, Scorpio. So a continuation from March. Focus could be on work. Focus could be on day-to-day. Focus could be on driving the kids here, driving the kids there, whether you own a business or run a business. Apply this to your circumstance. If you're not working, well, then how are you being of service? This is the house of being of service in some way, shape, or form, Scorpio. So apply this to your circumstance. 6th house is also about rental units. So if you own rental buildings, apartment buildings, rental houses, whatever the case may be, that might also continue to be in focus this month. 6th house is also about your pets. Maybe they need some extra attention this month, and just your work in general, colleagues, coworkers, the work atmosphere, the culture, if you own a business, run a business, or if you're a manager, this would be people working for you, people working with you, like people that work around you, however you want to apply that, right? Whether you work virtually or in person, it doesn't matter. This would be your workplace in general and people that you connect with on a daily basis. So that's going to continue to be the focus this month, Scorpio, I think anyway. Now, once the sun hops into your opposite sign of Taurus, this is lighting up your relationship sector. So marriage, common law, work partnerships, business partnerships, client partnerships, signing on the dotted line with something or with someone, work contractual agreements, renegotiating something, because this is also the house of negotiations. That's going to then be highlighted for the last half of April and into May as well, which I'll remind you about next month. Now, with that said, Scorpio, you have a brand new moon. You have a brand new beginning, I should say, in this 7th house of partnership, Scorpio. So I'm jumping around here a bit, but the dates are on the slide here. You have a new moon in your opposite sign on the 27th, give or take a day or two, depending on where you're on the planet. So again, everything I rambled off there about the 7th house, marriage, common law, relationships, in business or in love, contracts, agreements, negotiations, your clients, this is all wrapped up in the 7th house. So you have a brand new beginning here, Scorpio. Now, if you have anything around 7 degrees, if you know your chart, great. And if you don't worry about it. Regardless, this is a new beginning in your 7th house. Anything around 7 degrees, though, if it's your sun sign, it could be a new beginning with father or father-like figures in your life. Could be new beginnings with your career. Again, your vocation, whatever you do on a day-to-day basis. Life force, vitality could be included here as well. If it's your moon sign, this is a new beginning with home, family, foundation, your living circumstances, or something to do with your children, possibly as well. Or again, just in general, place of living, your home, the roof that you live under, that could be also wrapped up with this new beginning as well. Now, I want to jump to that full moon. Both of the luminaries this month, so the full moon, the new moon, is ruled by Venus. So it's a very Venus-themed month ahead, which I find really interesting because she's backwards in the sky right now. She's moving backwards. She's actually at a standstill right at this full moon, which I find fascinating. There's clearly a reason for this. And when planets stand still in the sky, their energy is super potent. So this is a very purposeful month ahead when it comes to our relationships. And again, when I say that, it could be in love, it could be in business, it could be with family, it could be with friends. It's anyone we have a one-on-one connection with. It could be even the neighbor down the street that you talk to. So again, apply this to your circumstance. But Venus also rules money and resources and beauty treatments, beauty enhancements, nutrition, diet. So I just feel like that's going to be 100% the overlay, another layer that we can layer into the month ahead. So just always, keep that in mind, Scorpio, if that makes sense. I'm trying not to confuse folks by talking all over the map here, but full moon in Libra. Libra rules relationships. So I know I'm repeating myself here, Scorpio, but there's a reason for that. If you hear me say something more than once, that means there's extra energy going towards that theme that I'm talking about. So clearly for you, Scorpio, this is a month of relationships, reassessing where you're at with relationships, marriage, common law, contracts, agreements, negotiations, bosses, authority figures, you as a boss, you as a worker, whatever the case may be, whatever your relationship is with work. And if you're not working, well, then this is your relationships, how you relate one-on-one to people. Something is coming possibly to an ending, to a culmination point here. There could also be some turnover at the place where you work. So new people, or people leaving, new people coming in. Maybe it could be you, because this full moon shines a spotlight across the street. It's about the two areas of life. Whenever we're dealing with a full moon, it lights up two areas of life, not just one. Now, it could be something hidden, Scorpio, that comes to light. This could be something about you, something about a partner, something about a child. Again, you got to apply this to your circumstance. But a full moon in the hidden 12th house, this is like shining a spotlight on all the crud and the dirt and the skeletons and the spider webs in that corner. And it's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to leave it there, or are you going to take the vacuum cleaner to it, right? So this could be cleaning out the closets literally, or a figure of speech, right? So this could be about working with a counselor, working with a therapist, making sure your mental health is in check, making sure you're talking to yourself nicely, Scorpio, in the morning. When you're looking at yourself in the mirror in the morning is what I meant to say. Are you talking nice to yourself, or are you talking down to yourself? It's things like that subconsciously that we ingrain into ourselves without even realizing it. So it's noticing what you're noticing. So double emphasis here on endings, on solitude, on rest, on taking care of yourself, on just basically preparing for a new cycle, because next month we're going to have a full moon in your sign, Scorpio. So this could again mirror any area of life, but I'll talk about that next month. So shining a spotlight on that 6th house that we already talked about. So being of service. How are you being of service? Does a pet need extra attention? Do you need to pay more attention to your health and well-being? Do you need to clean up your diet and routines? Do you really need to run all the bloody kids around, and you're the neighborhood soccer mom, soccer dad, running everybody around? Do you really need to do that? Or can another parent step up and do that? It's things like that. It's like cleaning up the day to day and making it more efficient for you, Scorpio. Not so much about other people, but with that said, this is the house of being of service, right? So I'll let you take that however you want to, whether it's stepping up and being more of service to someone else, or asking somebody else to step it up and help you out, if that makes sense, Scorpio. Okay, let's talk about Venus, because she is back in your 5th house this month. Actually, this is really lovely energy with Mercury and Venus in your 5th house, making trines to you, Scorpio. So I do love this. Venus in the 5th house. This is really nice for money coming to you from this area of life, right? Benefits, money, resources coming in. If you feel called to do so, pick up that lottery ticket, whatever the case may be. Or maybe she's reassessing your lottery habits, your gambling habits, Scorpio. So with that said, you know, pick your poison, right? Because this is the house of joy, of pleasure, of what lights you up from the inside out. This is the house of dating and romance and sex and having a good time and fun and flirty behavior. Saturn in here, though, is kind of a Debbie Downer. You know, you've had Saturn in here for quite some time. So you know, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, that's, you know, I don't do any of that stuff. That's all fluffy bunny. You know, I forgot Saturn's here, you know, making you become more serious with a partner, or being more serious when it comes to dating or the dating pool. Or maybe, you know, you're single right now and you've been single for a while. That doesn't surprise me either, or wouldn't surprise me with Saturn in this 5th house. But with the North Node here, North Node is challenging you, Scorpio, to put yourself back out there if you are single. You know, North Node, you could meet a very fated partner in this area of life. But anyway, 5th house is also about kids, having kids, pregnancy, maybe trying to get pregnant again. With Venus coming back around in the 5th house, this can kind of make you fertile, but with Saturn in here, I can also see it going the other way, of having a difficult time trying to become pregnant. So again, take what resonates, leave the rest, Scorpio. Focus on your kids, focus on family, focus on joy, focus on what lights you up from the inside out. Maybe it's bringing the spark back in your current relationship. Maybe things have been a little bit too serious, and now it's time to go on a vacation with your partner, even if it's a staycation. Like, get the kids out of the house, send them somewhere else. You know, send them to, do they still have Chuck E. Cheese out there? I don't know why that came to mind. Send them to Chuck E. Cheese. Get out the door. So you and your partner can reignite that spark, because Venus here in the 5th house is very beneficial. Also, Scorpio, if, you know, this could be benefits coming in from a romantic partner, like romantic gestures coming towards you. So maybe your partner could be showing you the love this month as well, Scorpio. That could be definitely a possibility. Okay, and then let's talk about your ruler, because your ruler, Mars, have been scratching around in Cancer for way too long. But for you, well, actually for you and Pisces, this might have not been too bad. I say that with caution, though, because I mean, Mars in Cancer, this has not been good for our family lives and home lives, because it can cause irritation within the home, right? Basically, like, it is what it is. That's what Mars does best. But anyway, it could also be renovations or cleaning up the home too, which is really nice way to channel the energy. But anyway, your ruler is finally moving on. But like I said, I think you might have enjoyed this energy with it being in your 9th house, maybe not. If you've been dealing with any legal battles, because up in the 9th house, I can see that happening with Mars being up there. That energy hopefully will dissipate once Mars moves along into Leo, or at least get some traction, maybe Scorpio, when it comes to 9th house related matters. So educational pursuits, anything to do with foreign lands, foreign shores, foreign properties, foreign cultures, teaching, mentoring, coaching, training, trying to learn something new, philosophy, religion, reaching a higher, wider audience. Maybe it's been kind of like nose to the grindstone with this, and now Mars is finally moving along here in your 10th house. Now, Mars in the 10th house, Scorpio, I'm going to put it out there. For those of you that want to cut and sever a job, that's a possibility with Mars being upstairs here in your 10th house of status, career, reputation. This is also parental figures as well. So you as a parent, but also mother, father, grandparents, authority figures in your life. Dealing with bosses, you might find they might be a little bit more crotchety over the next 2 months. I'm just going to throw it out there. Obviously, this won't apply to all of you, but just to kind of throw it out there, you might notice it, right? Or this could be you, Scorpio. Again, if you're the boss, if you're a manager, you might become a little bit more sharp. You might become a little bit more like a hammer versus a cotton ball, right? Like, you might be coming down on employees and being more strict. That's kind of what Mars does at the top of your sky, but he can also cut and sever and cut away anything that's not working for you at the top of your sky. Now, if you're not working, again, apply this to your circumstance. If you're volunteering, if you're dealing with the public, if you're dealing with, again, family members, things might get a little bit irritable. But you can also get a lot of stuff done when Mars is at the top of your sky, because wherever Mars goes, he puts laser focus. He's like, think of a sharp edge, right? A sharp tool, you know, laser focus in on that area of life. And for you, Scorpio, lucky you, this is in your work house, right? So if anything's not working, I feel like this is going to be it. And you're going to be like, hey, yeah, I'm out of here. This is not working for me. Or I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make this work. It's hard, but I'm going to make this work. You see what I mean? It just depends on how you're going to utilize this energy. Also think back to November and December of 2024. Something is picking back up here. This is where Mars went retrograde. He stationed retrograde in December and then went backwards into Cancer. So something here, he could be, again, something's coming back up from the past in this particular area of life. Or again, this could just be something to do with you as a parent as well, if it doesn't have anything to do with work. Let's see here. I think that's all I was going to touch on in this video, Scorpio. If you want to learn more about Neptune hopping into your 6th house for the next 14 years, you can check out that video below. If you want a refresher on Mars retrograde or Venus retrograde, you can check out those videos down below as well. Otherwise, enjoy the month ahead, Scorpio, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Sagittarius, let's talk about the month ahead for you. Let's start with the sun. So the sun continues to energize your 5th house, and this is really nice energy pouring into your planets, placements, points, whatever you're watching for right now. So 5th house is all about romance and dating and sexuality and creative projects, creative endeavors, hobbies, pouring your light, your energy into these areas of life. 5th house is also about your kids. Could also highlight pregnancy for those of you that want to start a family or thinking about starting a family, or again, just general focus on your children if you do have children. 5th house is all about what lights you up from the inside out, Sagittarius. What do you want to lean into? So I also hope this transit invigorated you a little bit, because the sun is wrapping up his stay in the 5th house. But this is all about bringing the joy back into your life. You know, what lights you up? Vacationing, gambling, entertainment, whatever the case may be. I mean, I always say don't bet the farm, Sag. Don't bet the farm unless you can. But, you know, there's always pull it in from a respective standpoint. But you know what I mean? This is like Christmas morning, you know, for those of you that do know what I'm talking about. This, I mean, you are the sign of what I call Santa Claus sometimes anyway. But anyway, the 5th house, joy, pleasure, lighting yourself up from the inside out, and finally putting the spotlight on you, on what you want to bring into your life. The 5th house is also very lucky as well. So if you feel called to do so, I would wait until Venus pops in here. I think that will energize the luck aspect. But I mean, you do you, Sag. If you feel lucky, buy that 50-50 ticket. Don't break the bank. You know, you just never know, right? You can't win unless you don't have a ticket. So that is the first part of April. Now, the second half of April, the sun pops into your house of being of service. So this is kind of like getting back to work, Sag. It's like the 5th house is vacationing and blah, 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 and going to hot destinations, and let's, you know, take a family trip together. And then the sun moves into Taurus, and it's like, okay, back to work. This is like Monday morning feeling, you know, back to being of service in some way, shape, or form. So again, apply this to your circumstances, whether you work or don't work. This is the house of service. So who can you help? Who can you reach out to and provide that guidance to, or be a light in someone's life, Sag? I mean, you are a fire sign. So, I mean, you bring the light and the heat to someone's lives, you know, even if it's just a pet, you know, like the 6th house is about pets. So it's like spending time with your pets, pouring energy into your pets, maybe getting a new pet. You do have a new beginning here. in your 6th house as well this month, Sag. So, I mean, this could be new beginnings on the animal front as well. Pets, animals, whatever the case may be. I also heard for some of you, horses, something to do with horses. I mean, your sign does represent big animals, like big animals, but I specifically heard horses. Okay, so maybe some of you work with horses or are around horses, or maybe will be getting a horse, who knows, or a farm or something like along those lines. But anyway, the sun moving into the 6th house, this is jazzing up your day-to-day, Sag. So busy day-to-day routines, driving here, driving there, getting back on schedule, getting back into a routine, getting those taxes done. This is a financial house as well. Like, sorry, Taurus is your 6th house. So this brings in a layer of finances and resources and making sure your finances are on track in some way, shape, or form, Sag. That could also be the focus. Property could also be on your mind this month as well. And health and well-being and vitality could also be on your mind as well. Now, all that stuff I nattered off with your 6th house, that could also be a new beginning here. So again, health, diet, nutrition, routines, exercise, pets, animals, work environment, something could be changing here. There's a new beginning here that's lighting up in this 6th area of life. And I just want to make sure I did not... this could also be rental units too. Yeah, I knew I forgot something. Like 6th house could also be if you rent houses, if you have rental houses, rental apartments, apartment buildings, there could be people coming and going here as well. This is also the workplace. So the environment, the atmosphere, the culture of the workplace. There could be new beginnings on that front as well. Maybe, again, maybe somebody new coming in. If you own a business, run a business, excellent time to find people to work with. You know, if you're looking to hire someone, advertise. Advertise around the end of the month. You don't have to wait that long. If you need to hire someone, you need to hire someone. This is also nice energy for if you need to hire anyone to do work around your home, your business, whatever the case may be. Excellent time to find someone around this new moon or when the sun hops into this sign. Excellent month to do that. Because it is a Venus ruled month ahead, I'm calling it, because both luminaries are landing in Venus territory. And she is at the bottom of your sky. Sorry, my nose, every time I turn on the camera, my nose just starts itching like crazy. So forgive me. Venus down at the bottom of your sky, this is going to bring in an additional layer. But Venus in general is about relationships. This is general, relationships and money, basically. Whether it's your money or it could be your partner's money or your business money or bonuses, commissions, whatever. However it is that money comes to you, Sag. Now, let's talk about that full moon in Libra. And yes, I'm jumping around here. So this full moon happens in the middle of the month, the same day that Venus stations direct. So she's going to be at a standstill in the sky, plus she rules this full moon. So a very potent month ahead from a Venus perspective. What did I just say? Venus rules relationships, right? So there could be an ending, a culmination point, a new beginning regarding a relationship. Now you fill in the blank. Could be marital, could be common law, could be to do with your spouse, your partner, business, friendship circles. I mean, the full moon does land in your 11th house of friendship circles. So this could also be about an older sibling, if you have older siblings, unions, if you belong to any unions, community, people that you surround yourself with. This is your role within these groups and associations and affiliations and people that you hang out with. This is your hopes, your wishes, your dreams, your long-term commitments and goals. This is networking. This is social media, putting yourself out there to a higher, wider audience or a bigger, wider audience, Sag. This is the area of life of hopefully the people that you surround yourself with lift you up. And if you're saying to yourself, well, I don't feel good around these people. It's not really my thing. It's not really my jam. Well, then you just answered your own question, right? Maybe it's time to distance yourself or move away from that, right? That's just kind of my recommendation when I see a full moon in this 11th house. And wait till Mars gets in here. That's a long ways out. But when Mars gets here, it's about cutting, ending, severing those ties that no longer lift you up, that no longer support you, right? Doesn't have to be forever, Sag. It's just, again, we all have those people that just are negative Nancy's or Debbie Downers, and they just, for some reason, they just don't have our best interests at heart, you know? And that's fine. They're doing them. Let them do them. You do you, but just further away from them. If that makes sense, Sag, okay? Okay, so those are the luminaries this month. Again, they're layered up with relationship aspects and also financial aspects, right, Sag? So not to confuse you, but those would be additional layers or examples of what these luminaries could bring to the table for you for the month ahead. I also just heard for you, Sag, it could be about harmony. Like Venus also rules that as well. Blessings, harmony, being I think we talked about this, being a blessing or a light in someone else's life. For some reason, that's coming up for you. I don't remember it coming up for the other signs, but just you being there for someone else maybe, and bringing in the harmony. Maybe you're the peacemaker, Sag, this month. Yeah, that could be a possibility too. Actually, yeah, let's jump to Venus. I think that's what I'm hearing is, or what I'm talking about is Venus in your 4th house. That makes sense. Bringing in the harmony, the love, smoothing things over in this area of life, downstairs in your 4th house. So that does make sense now why I started hearing that. There we go, light bulb. Beautifying the home, renovating the home, feng shui the home, painting, you know, refreshing the space, just pushing around the furniture even if it's just an inch. You're moving the energy around in your home, Sag. And if you haven't done that yet, I would encourage you to do so. You do not have to do a big overhaul, okay? I'm not telling you to go paint one wall blood red, okay? Like, I would actually caution you against that. Wait until she goes direct. Wait till she goes direct middle of the month and then go ahead and color experiment. But for now, just tape those swatches on the wall and just kind of stare at them for a few days. Not consistent, of course, but lean into the change that you want to bring into your home if it's anything big. Anything small, though, like, again, push things around, clean up the clutter, vacuum, dust, get the cobwebs, like, just prepare for, you know, we're in a new season now. So it's like, depending on, doesn't matter where you are on the planet, we are in a new season. So it's like, let's start embracing this new season. Venus in the 4th house can, yes, also smooth things over in this area of life. So if it has been challenging at home, Venus here will hopefully help in this area of life. But again, you're being asked to reassess something on the home front, whether it's literal property matters, a spouse, people that you live with, your kids, your family, your relatives, mother, father, authority figures in your life, you as a parent. You could be reassessing a lot of things here because Mercury and Venus are retrograde back into Pisces, back into your 4th house, Sag. So there's definitely something here that you're reassessing. And I just heard there's something here you got to let go of. Even if it's like, I just heard let go of past regrets. Past regression might not be a bad thing to look into. Only for those of you that resonates with, okay? Because that's definitely not for all of you, but there's something here you got to let go of. Past anger, past hate, past something to do with your parents. Yeah, there's like they're showing me like a chain that you are attached to, Sag. There's like a chain of something that you are going to break though, especially with this. I talked about it at the beginning of the video. Saturn coming together with the North Node. This is so rare. It's squaring the galactic center in your sign, Sag. This is extra potent for you of letting karmic go. Karmic release is happening for you at the foundation of your sky. So this is very, very, very potent for you, my friends. Some of you, it'll be subconscious, so don't worry about it. But for those of you that are into this, the metaphysical realm, if there's anything you want to let go of, consciously release this. Consciously release this. And this is April 21st, give or take a day or two, depending on where you're on the planet. Yeah. Set your intentions that day, light a candle, get rid of shit. Sag. Actually, you're so far the only sign that this has come up for. So extra emphasis on you, my friends, of letting something go ancestral that you need to let go of, or whatever, something to do with the home life. Okay, let's jump to Mars now. Mars has been scratching around in your, again, a sign connected to home, family, foundation. So this is really interesting for you, Sag, like hearing, even as I'm saying it out loud, connecting the dots here. But anyway, Cancer rules home, family, foundation, nurturing, family, people that you live with, your kids, or anyone that you live with, flatmates, friends, whatever, relatives. But Mars in the 8th house, all about separation of assets. For those of you, this has been a long haul, 3.5 months, well, longer than 3.5 months, but I'm just counting 2025. But this has been part of a 6-month story that began back in October of 2024, 17 degrees of Cancer. So he spent probably 4 or 4.5 months in Cancer. Well, 4 months in Cancer. Very long haul here. For those of you that are going through a separation, whether this is a business, dissolving a business, dissolving something to do with your career, dissolving a relationship, this is very psychological, could be very psychological for you, healing, something to do with your children even, or your hobbies, or past endeavors, or again, anything that lights you up, because Mars also rules that 5th house that we talked about. But anyway, this 8th house is about shared assets and resources and cutting ties here with something or someone, paying off debts, getting into new debts, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not here to judge. We all need to live somewhere, whether you want a mortgage or a car loan or whatever, a $10,000 business loan to get your business off the ground, whatever the case may be. I just heard some of you are taking like sick leave. Like I just heard loud and clear, short-term disability, long-term disability. If your employer offers that, maybe some of you have been utilizing that for the past 3 months, because that 8th house is resources that come to you, whether through an employer, through a spouse, through a partner, through the government, alimony, whoever's paying you, whoever's lining your pocket, Sag. So this could be a client. Anyway, this is coming to an end, is my point. Mars is finally moving into Leo, and I think you're going to like this, Sag, because you're a fire sign. Leo's a fire sign. Mars is going to be pouring in that passion, action, motivation, laser focus into your sign from this area of life. Now, what is the 9th house? This is all about religion, spirituality, reaching a higher, wider audience. This is foreign lands, foreign cultures, international travel, international shores, dealing with people from all over the globe. This could be long distance traveling, educational pursuits. So maybe some of you are thinking about going back to school, or again, brushing up your skill set with something. I mean, Pluto being in your 3rd house could also help you out with that as well. But I mean, Pluto, this is like a 20-year transit. But anyway, I'm just thinking Pluto opposing, Mars opposing Pluto could give you the motivation. This could really activate something in you to go after an educational pursuit, mentoring, teaching, coaching, training, putting yourself out there, learning new technology, learning anything new, brushing up on your skill set, Sag. Something that you could monetize or you could benefit from. Now, with this opposition, I am going to caution you because this is in the travel zone. I talked about it at the beginning of the video. Mars opposing Pluto can get sticky. So please be careful traveling about, whether it's planes, trains, automobiles, scooters, whatever. Just be careful moving about, right? Because that could also cause accidents. Now, I know you can't control airplanes and trains and stuff. But I mean, you could be on a train walking through the train and just like cut yourself, right? You know, cut your hand or bump bruises, you know, it could be anything from a minor thing like that, right, to a fender bender. But this would be like in a foreign land, right? So you're traveling, you rent a car, you get into a fender bender, or you get road rage. So just some things to watch out for, Sag. This isn't going to be for the whole month. This is, again, I covered it in the beginning of the video. If you want to rewatch that, I gave you some dates to think about. This happened before, so you know, you might already have an idea of what this is about, but I see this as a power move for you, lasering in on something, Sag, okay? Also think back to November, December of 2024. There could be something coming back around for you in this area of life. Otherwise, Sag, that's all I was going to cover off today. If you're interested in learning more about Neptune moving into Aries, you can check out my video below. Also, if you want to learn more about Venus retrograde, Mars retrograde, I also have separate videos down in the description box below. So have a wonderful month, and we'll talk to you again in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Capricorn, let's talk about the month ahead for you. So we'll start with the sun. So the sun is continuing his trek through the bottom of your sky. So focus continues to be on home, family, property, your living situation, your family members or whoever you live with, your kids. If you work with home or work from home, work with homes, maybe you want to buy, sell property, that could be top of mind or continue to be top of mind for the month of April, Capricorn. Now, when the sun moves into your 5th house, I think you're going to like this because the sun is now energizing you with beautiful, harmonious, flowing energy into your planets, placements, points, Cap. Now, the 5th house is a lot more, I'm going to say funner, funner, Capricorn. So if you are looking to bring back more joy, more pleasure, more romance, more dating, more sexuality, diving into hobbies, spending time with your kids, vacationing, holidaying, just bringing back the joy, Capricorn. This is the time to do it when the sun moves into Taurus. Now, you can do it anytime, but I just feel like, yeah, with the sun, the bottom of your sky focus is a little bit different. Also, I forgot to mention, sun in the 4th house could also put focus on you as a parent, you parenting, whatever that means to you. You could also be, you know, we could also be parents to our pets, by the way. So, because they do need us in order to survive, right? So it's whoever calls you a parent, even if it's your pet dog. Mother, father, authority figures could also be the focus this month. So forgive me. I just wanted to backtrack there. But otherwise, you know, beautiful energy coming in this month for you, Capricorn. And like I said, I really think once the sun moves into Taurus, it's going to reinvigorate you in some way, shape, or form, especially when it makes a trine to your moon, to your sun, to your rising, whatever you're watching for right now, because it's also going to pour energy into your relationship sector as well. Your descendant, I'm talking about in particular in Cancer. Now, with that said, with everything I rambled off, you also have a new moon in your 5th house this month. So Capricorn, if you have anything around 7 degrees of your sign, this is going to add in an additional layer to this new beginning. So if it's your moon sign, this is a new beginning on the home front. So home, family, foundation, your place of living, security. I just heard safe haven or safe house, so I'll add that in there too. If it's your rising sign, it could be something to do with your status, your identity, your physical body, changes to the physical body, your relationships, your career, your what you're known for. It's the lens, the glasses you wear, and also your first impression that you give to the public or, you know, whoever, people that you deal with day to day. And if it's your sun sign, this is new beginnings on the career front with clients, in your business. Mother, father figures in your life could be fresh new starts for them as well. Or you as a boss, you know, this could be new beginnings for you as a manager, a leader, a boss, a CEO, a business owner, whatever the case may be, Capricorn. But I love this in a creative part of your chart, Capricorn. So if you're ever wanting to plant those seeds of intention of getting something off the ground, like a hobby, or I'm hearing specifically something to do with the arts. So like music, painting, any sort of creative outlets I'm hearing as well should get some really beneficial traction this month. Okay, now let's roll to that full moon in Libra. This month is a very Venusian month ahead, Capricorn, because the full moon and the new moon are both ruled by Venus, and Venus is in your third house. We'll get to that, but this adds in another layer of what could be coming in at this new moon and the full moon, okay? Not to confuse you, because yeah, I don't want to say it's rare. I'd have to look back on the last time this happens, but I mean, it is kind of rare for both of the luminaries to be landing in signs that are ruled by one planet. You know, usually they're staggered with different types of energies. But anyway, so Capricorn, this is a month ahead that could really be related to finances, resources, material possessions, health, diet, well-being, nutrition, how you're taking care of yourself, and also love and any one-on-one relationships that we have, marriage, contracts, agreements, negotiations, that could be at the forefront this month, Capricorn. Okay, let's go back up to this full moon at the top of your sky. So I do like this. In Libra, 23 degrees, Capricorn. If you have anything around 23 degrees, you're going to feel this. I feel like some Capricorns perhaps may be moving on from a job, or moving on in the career sector, or ending something. This is an ending. This is a culmination point on the career front or on the retirement front, either or, because it's actually illuminating both axes, right? Full moons do that. Full moons aren't just about the one house. They highlight actually both houses because it's shining a spotlight on the opposite scale or the opposite end as well, Capricorn. So endings, culmination points on the career front, work, job, status, reputation, changing what you're known for, something to do with a parent too. Maybe a parent, there's like an ending, a culmination point with a parent or a parental figure as well in your life. I don't mean death. I mean like, you know, changes happened in their lives too. It's not all about us. Like everybody goes through changes, Capricorn. So don't take that as like someone's going to die. No, this is just a wrapping up on a grandparent's end or a father or mother figure or even a boss. Maybe there's changes at the top of the food chain, Capricorn, as well. Whether you own a business or run a business, there's changes regardless that could be coming down the pipe. And again, shining a spotlight on that fourth house that we talked about. Home, family, place of living, you know, buying, selling property, your family, your children. There could be, endings and new beginnings are really highlighted here, Capricorn. Plus, it's the big angles of your chart. So again, could bleed into contracts, agreements, negotiations, your clients, love, business, marriage. Yeah, it could really ripple out to multiple areas of life because anything that happens at the big angles, it will likely impact more than one area of life for you, Capricorn. So possibly a big month ahead for you, my friends. And again, yes, anything at that 23 degree mark. I think I already mentioned that. So again, if it's your moon sign, it's something to do with the home front, family, children, your emotional well-being, your emotional body, your health. Sun sign is father figures. Your career, your status, your reputation, your vitality. If it's your rising sign, it really could be anything. It's your whatever you're known for could be changing. Your relationships could be changing as well. Contracts coming to an end, agreements coming to an end, whatever the case may be, Capricorn. So possibly a big month ahead for you. Let's go back to Venus. Okay, so Venus in the third house. This is benefits coming in from this third house area of life for you. And actually, she's making really lovely aspects to you, especially the later degrees, Capricorns. She's bringing in blessings from this area of life. Some of you could be getting new neighbors, or there could be changes in your community, in your neighborhood. Again, place of living keeps coming up for you too. So if I repeat myself, that's not a bad thing. That just means there's extra energy coming into that area of life, for example. But again, general reading, take what resonates, leave the rest. Venus can also help smooth things over in this area of life. So siblings, cousins, neighbors, extended family members as well. There could be benefits coming in from these people as well. This is education, this is learning, this is teaching, this is upgrading your skill set. This is also traveling as well, Capricorn. And there's something you're reassessing here in this area of life, right? Because you have Mercury backing up in here. You also have Venus backing up in here, right? So extra oomph and energy in this third house area of life for you, Capricorn, which is a busy day-to-day house. This could also be about social media. This could be also about, I'm hearing networking too, writing, blogging, publishing. We already talked about education and your skill set. So this is about applying what you've learned already to something new and gaining those rewards from that, bringing in the cash flow from what you've learned in the past, if that makes sense. Something in particular, something new. Again, with the retrograde, you're reassessing something here, back and forth between your fourth house and your third house here. This could also be about technology too, Capricorn. Yeah, you could be upgrading your devices. Maybe something crashed and burned and you got to buy something new vehicle, new computer, new laptop, new phone, like any techie stuff. If you have to buy it, you have to buy it, meaning if something breaks down, you got to replace it, right? Otherwise, just hang on to that receipt, because buying any sort of techie things with Mercury retrograde, they could go sideways, but not the end of the world, because if they break or they break down, you got to get them fixed, right? You got to replace them. Same with vehicles. Right? Maybe you're fixing a vehicle this month, or you're going back over old ground and you're trying to resolve an issue with a vehicle or with a tech gadget, or with an app or with a phone, like any sort of techie type of thing, or maybe a website problem. Reassessing your website, redoing your website, Capricorn, is not a bad, like tweaking it. You don't have to full blown redo it unless you want to, but like tweaking things. Again, retrogrades reassess, redo, review anything that isn't working in this busy third house area of life. Okay, let's jump to Mars, because yeah, Mars has been scratching around in your seventh house for way too long. I know this probably hasn't been easy, again, depending on your circumstances and depending on what you're watching for. But Mars in the seventh house can cause some irritation, some inflammation on the partnership front, whether this is in love, business, marriage, friendships, family, whoever you're connected to one-on-one. Seventh house is any sort of one-on-one relationships, even relationships with, neighbors down the street. That's a relationship, right? You have a connection with that person. So Mars has been here a long time, 3.5 months. I'm going to say 4 months. This is a 6-month story that started way back in October 2024, Capricorn. So think back to that time. You've been going over old ground, reassessing this job, reassessing this business deal, reassessing this client, reassessing, you fill in the blank, this marriage, this partnership, whatever you want to call it. Mars is now finally moving out of this area of life and moving into a financial house for you, Capricorn. So you're going to be laser focused in on perhaps your partner's finances. This is about shared assets, shared resources, shared property, shared material possessions, shared debts, mortgages, loans, taxes. So Mars is going to make you focus in on this and give you the passion, the motivation, the drive, and the willpower to go after what it is that you want. But again, Mars is a double-edged sword. He can also separate and inflame. So a simple example would be, say you are dissolving a business partnership or a marital partnership. Well, excuse me, Mars in the 8th house is a separation of assets. You're severing those assets, right? You're paying out the business partner, or they are paying you out, or you're separating properties. You're selling property and giving your partner half that money, or vice versa. This is money coming in from other sources, Mars can also cut that off though, Capricorn. So if you are relying on other sources from government, alimony, from a partner, maybe a parent is paying for your stuff or someone's paying for your stuff, this might change. Okay, it may or may not. It depends on your circumstances, and it depends on if this is your true 8th house. But Mars does change things up, you know, and I can't say for good or for bad. That's when I would need your birth chart. But just think of it as this way. You're just going to be laser focused in on money. You could also burn through money. So just be cautious of that. Whenever I see Mars in a financial house, is not a bad thing, because it shows me you're going to go after what it is that you want and you're going to make the money. I mean, Capricorn, you do anyway. All Capricorns worry about money, but they don't have to worry about money. But when I see Mars blazing through a financial house, I usually just throw out a caution. Yes, you can make money, Capricorn, but I can see you can spend it just as quick and go into big debt. So, and again, there's nothing wrong with debt, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just everybody's circumstances are different, right? So just make sure you're not burning holes in your pocket, or maybe this is about a partner burning through money. Could be about them too, Capricorn. So maybe it's not about you, it's about a partner burning through their resources, and then maybe you got to help them out, or maybe you got to co-sign for them, or something along those lines, Capricorn. Like I said, it could go either way, because Mars is quite literally a, you know, two faces to Mars, right? Double-edged sword. Otherwise, Capricorn, that's about it I was going to talk about in this video. Keep in mind, I have more videos down below. So Neptune moving into your 4th house. What does that mean for you over the next 14 years or so? You can check that out below. Also, if you want to brush up on Mars retrograde or Venus retrograde, those videos are linked down below as well. And did I mention something could be coming back around from November, December of 2025 in this 8th house that we talked about? This 8th house, it is a financial house, but it could also be about inheritance, investments, fear, power, control issues, letting that go once and for all, and the shadow. 8th house is also shadow work and also healing as well, Capricorn. So I think I forgot to mention that. It's not all about money and finances. It's this house. This house also represents, you know, the death and rebirth of something, right? Transforming something for the highest good, for your highest good and the highest good of all, Capricorn. So enjoy the month ahead, and we will see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Aquarius, let's talk about where I think your focus could be for the month ahead. So continuation of the sun in your busy 3rd house. So this is all about day to day traveling around, tripping around, short distance travel. It's more so a focus on your local environment, your local community, your neighbors, your neighborhood. There's something here you're definitely reassessing with Mars, not Mars, Mercury and Venus going back and forth in this area of life as well. But this could also be about transportation, how it is that you get around, technology, gadgets, publishing, writing, going back to school, educational pursuits, teaching, mentoring, coaching, training. It's about your skill set, utilizing your skill set in a new way, or thoughts of maybe going back to school or taking on new educational pursuits, Aquarius. So that could be some of the focus this month. Also lots of communication. 3rd house is communication, communication, communication. You're an air sign, so I mean, you love this kind of stuff. It's about the mind, more so the lower mind. Notice what you're noticing, things like that. I also just heard synchronicity, so I'll throw that out there as well. Now, once the sun moves into Taurus, this is going to light up the foundation of your sky, Aquarius. So focus is going to be on home, family, your place of living, your living situation, people that you live with, family, parents, children, grandchildren, retirement, for those of you that are retired, or maybe thoughts of retirement or planning for retirement. It is a Venus ruled month ahead because Venus does rule both luminaries this month. So I feel like extra oomph and emphasis are going to be on finances and getting our ducks in a row. Maybe some of you are hoping to buy or sell property this month. That could be a possibility because you do have a new beginning on the home front this month, Aquarius. Lasering in on your finances, lasering in on retirement or plans to retire, or maybe 401k or RSPs or pensions, or whatever the case may be. Just finances in general could be the focus this month, Aquarius. Now, speaking of, as I mentioned, I may as well just dive right to that new moon. Yes, I'm jumping around here a bit, but the dates are listed on the slide, what I'm going to cover today. So new beginnings, new opportunities on the home front. Now, this is kind of around the end of the month. It's not so much about the day. It could happen technically any time this month or even after this new moon. It's not so much about the exact day, but new beginnings here. For those of you that are looking to buy, sell real estate, it's full on when it comes to a brand new beginning with regards to your place of living, your living situation, buying or selling real estate, buying or selling property, moving in with someone moving in with you, maybe your kids. Maybe this isn't about you. Maybe it's your kids leaving the nest and starting a brand new beginning at college, university, moving away from home, or buying their own property. So maybe it's not about you, it's about them. And then maybe you're helping them out with this new endeavor, new adventure. Let's see here. New beginnings on your parents, with your parents. So this could be mother, father, authority figures in your life. Again, maybe some of you are quite literally retiring because the fourth house does represent retirement and place of retirement. It gives you clues as to where in the world or where on the planet or what type of environment you are going to be leaning into or retiring to, I should say. So maybe your mother or father, new beginnings in their situation or their place of living or their lives in general. Maybe you are becoming a parent, Aquarius. Yeah, maybe you're pregnant or your partner's pregnant or you know someone who's pregnant. Because yeah, this is, again, this could be somebody coming into the home, a new pet, a new animal, a new person, a new baby being born in the next month or so. Like, you just never know, especially next month too, because you'll have a full moon. Actually, yeah, you'll have a full moon in Gemini in your house of children. So maybe some of you are pregnant and expecting. That could also be a possibility. Jupiter in your fifth house. That also is a signature of pregnancy as well, Aquarius. So I do love this new moon. It is making a square to your planet's placements points. So if you have anything around 7 degrees of Aquarius, yeah, it's challenging you, but I mean, a square just means it's going to make you move. It's going to make you transition. It's going to get you off your ass and do something. Aquarius is nothing to be like doom or gloomed about. It is what it is. It's also close to a square to Pluto that's newly in your first house. But again, it just means transformation on the home front, changes on the home front that you initiate or that someone else initiates, right? For some of you that are renting, also, there could be changes there. I don't know if it's changes to like a rental agreement or you're being given notice or you're looking for new property or anything, a new place to rent. Like, yeah, do it this month. Hit the pavement this month, because I think you might find a new and better place to live for those of you that are interested. Whether it's renting or buying, selling, leasing, whatever the case may be, it looks good this month, Aquarius. Okay, let's jump to the full moon now. Full moon in Libra, again, could be about relationships, like we talked about, relationships or money. This could be in love or business, whatever the case may be, but it's at the top of your sky. It is making a harmonious aspect to you. So this one, this full moon, this ending, this culmination point is pouring in nice flowing energy to your planet's placements points around 23 degrees of Aquarius, so give or take. If it's your sun, it's something to do with your career or father figure. If it's your moon, it could be mother figure, female figures, your emotional body, again, something to do with the home. So if I repeat myself, that means that there's extra energy there of change, right? Or something coming in that respective area of life. If it's your rising sign, this is about you, your physical body, your identity, your what you're known for. It's the lenses, the glasses you wear. how you see the world and how people see you. It's like first impressions. So something on that front could be changing. Also, relationships could be changing here as well, because it's making shining a spotlight on your descendant. If your descendant goes through Leo, this could be a change to relationships as well, or contracts, agreements, negotiations. Now, the ninth house is also about religion and spirituality, ethics, belief systems, philosophy, reaching a higher, wider audience, book publishing, writing, getting, blogging, getting your name out there, social media, could have a flavor of that as well. This is about long distance traveling, long distance trips. We talked about your third house of education. This entire axis is totally being lit up this month, Aquarius. So it could be a month of education and study and learning something new, or thoughts of learning something new. Or maybe some of you are wrapping up college and university. You're finishing up, by the end of April, and then now you can technically move into your field, right? Apprentice, co-op, whatever you want to call it, because next month the full moon will move into your 10th house. So this is kind of like a brand new beginning and ending a new beginning on the career front, or something just changing in this area of life when it comes to your vocation. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Ninth house, traveling, tripping around. Like I said, learning something new, educational pursuits, publishing, book publishing, writing, all of that stuff looks good this month. And again, it's shining a spotlight on that third house that we already talked about. Siblings, cousins, neighbors, your local environment, transportation, traveling, however it is that you get around, gadgets, technology, social media, vehicles, things like that, Aquarius, could really be highlighted this month for you. Okay, now let's jump to Venus here. Venus is back in your second house. Not a bad placement for Venus at all. Wherever she goes, she attracts in money and benefits from this area of life, Aquarius. So this is your house of money. Venus loves being in the second house. So this could be bonuses, commissions, money just coming to you from work. Whatever you do on a day-to-day basis from work. Now, if you don't work, this would be benefits coming in from tax rebates, from, I just heard alimony, so I'll say alimony, I guess. And what am I trying to say here? Like 401ks, RSPs, tax-free savings account, pensions. Like, how do you earn a living? How do you make a living? How do you pay the bills, the taxes, the mortgage, the rent, your car payment, the gas in your car, things like that, right? Anything Venusian is coming your way this month from a second house perspective. This is buying, selling too. Venus in the second house, you might want to buy. I would pump the brakes on that, especially on anything big, Aquarius, because Venus going backwards in the sky, you just might miss something, right? Mercury going backwards in your second house, you might just miss something when you sign on the dotted line. Little things I'm not too worried about, because hopefully you hang on to that receipt, but it's big things, right? Like mortgages, debts, car loans, like just make sure you know what you're signing up for, Aquarius. Otherwise, not the end of the world. You could always fix it later on down the road, right? If there's a mistake or mishap or miscommunication, there's just something that you need to rehash or go over. That actually could be happening this month for you. You know, maybe there's something that came down the pipe last month, and now that she's backing into this area of life again, it's kind of like, oh, okay, I got to make sure I cross the T's, dot the I's, so to speak. So there's something here you're reassessing with work. For those of you that do work, or financial matters, your financial gains, your savings account, your bank account, material possessions, also diet, health, nutrition. Venus in the second house, you could be beautifying your face, doing something with the face, the neck, the throat. Maybe you're getting veneers, your teeth done, braces, dentures, or Botox, or anything like that to do with the face, to beautify, beautify your face, Aquarius. That could be happening this month as well. Now I want to hop to Mars, because Mars has been in your sixth house for a long time. Not the easiest placement. First of all, this would have impacted our home lives, our home living situations, scratching around, Mars is a double-edged sword, so wherever Mars goes, we laser in that focus, but he can't express himself when he's in Cancer. We're very emotional beings when Mars is in Cancer, so we do things on a whim, we have these emotional outbursts. We don't really know what to do with this energy. Mars doesn't know what to do with this energy either, because he's kind of like, I don't know how to express myself in the watery realms of Cancer. So we take our shit out on, guess what? People that we live with, unfortunately, right? People that we're comfortable with, which is usually our partners, our kids, our spouses. In this placement, it's people that we work with. We're taking our shit out on them. Basically, Aquarius. Now, this isn't for all of you. This has to be your true 6th house for this to ring true to you. So if it doesn't ring true, that means that maybe this isn't your 6th house. But 6th house is also pets. Maybe pets need some surgery or some extra attention. That could be a possibility. Or maybe your pets are going through some inflammation in the body. But this is also changes in the workplace, irritation in the workplace. This could be, again, you being irritated or your coworkers being pissy and taking their crap out on you. It could be vice versa, right? 6th house is you being of service, Aquarius. So maybe some of you cut, ended, and severed a job, or you're thinking of that. That could be a possibility now, especially with Mars moving into your 7th house of contracts, agreements, negotiations, marriage, anything to do with partnerships, your one-on-one connections with people. It's people that you're in bed with, literally or figuratively, of course. But Mars gives us the gift of cutting away what no longer suits in our lives. So this is sort of a blessing with Mars moving on, because he can finally express himself a little bit better in Leo. However, Mars in the 7th house, again, can cause that irritation, that inflammation in our partnerships, Aquarius. So just be mindful of that. I'm not saying you're going to go on a rampage or anyone's going on a rampage. It's just the flames are there, and it's going into Leo, which is a fiery, spicy, dramatic sign. So be prepared for maybe some unexpected endings, some unexpected upheavals, some unexpected challenges when it comes to your relationships in love, in business, in work, with family, friends, colleagues. Again, it depends on your circumstances here, Aquarius. And in particular, this Mars-Pluto opposition, if you watched the beginning of my video, again, watch out for this. This is happening in your sign and your partnership sector. So just pick your battles wisely is what I would caution you. If you're feeling the being upset, anger, rage coming up, Aquarius, again, it depends on your personality, but Aquarians are usually, they have that gift of being detached. So this, again, might not be you. This might be somebody coming at you hot and heavy. Take a step back. And you know what? Be the bigger person and be like, you know what? Let's reconnect when things have cooled down, when we're kind of on level playing field here. Let's take a step back. That's probably the smartest way to go about it. I wouldn't recommend battling with this individual, okay? And again, if it's you, take a step back. It's not even worth it, Aquarius. Trust me, it's not even worth it, because this is the epitome of power struggles. This is such a clear signature of ego battles, power struggles, but it can be very determined energy. I do like this energy for stepping up, stepping into your power and cutting something loose, cutting away something that's just not working for you anymore in this area of life. So again, it's connected to a relationship, whether it's an employer or if you're a business owner. Also, if you're a business owner, 6th house could be maybe you terminated some people over the past like 6 months or so during this retrograde in your 6th house. Or maybe you evicted people, but because 6th house is also if you own rental homes, rental properties, rental towers, apartment buildings. Yeah, Mars in here, maybe you got rid of people that just weren't a fit for the community, or were just, you know, weren't paying the rent or something like that. Maybe finally you were able to evict people. It could have been changes from that perspective. If you own a business, run a business, again, maybe it's you cutting, ending, severing those ties with people that work for you or work with you. Probably changes in the work environment as well, I'm guessing, over the past 6 months, Aquarius, like people leaving, new people coming in, things like that. Otherwise, Aquarius, that's all I have planned for today. If you want to check out my Neptune and Aries video, you can find that in the description box below. Also, if you want to brush up on Mars retrograde, Venus retrograde, I have separate videos down below for those respective retrogrades as well. Otherwise, enjoy the month ahead, Aquarius, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now. Hey Pisces, let's talk about where I think your focus will continue to be for the month of April. So the sun is still in your second house, Pisces. So it's all about work. It's all about engaging those financial resources or material possessions or buying or selling. So gaining new beautiful things or letting things go could have been the theme last month and even this month. Change of work situation, changes in your business, earning money, your savings account, your relationship to money. Second house is also about anything to do with the face, like doing modifications to the face, beautifying the face, maybe getting your teeth done or teeth worked on, dental work, anything to do with the throat, the neck as well. Also Pisces, for you in particular, I'm also feeling something to do with the spine. So I don't know, adjustments, chiropractor adjustments, physio, or I don't know, something to do with the spine that resonates with you. I also heard maybe some of you MRI is coming up as well. Maybe some of you, I don't know, need to get an MRI or need to push for an MRI. But anyway, so that's where the sun is wrapping up in that second financial area of life for you. Now, moving into your third house, this is really going to ramp up the busyness of your day to day. And you also have a new moon here as well. So this is about your local vicinity, your local community. Some of you could be getting new neighbors actually, because this could be changes and new beginnings on the community front, your place of living as well, people that you surround yourself with. Or this could be a new beginning with regards to siblings, cousins, neighbors, relatives. Sorry, I realized I'm mixing the sun with the new moon here. So yeah, forgive me. I'm still talking about your third house, but I'm just rambling off some possibilities of what could either be the focus this month or what could be a new beginning for you this month. So yeah, forgive me. I realized I started going all over the map. Pisces. Anyway, third house is also focusing in on technology, your gadgets, you know, new phones, new laptops, new equipment, new speakers, new vehicles, new bikes, or however it is that you get around. Transportation could be top of mind, or again, new beginnings could be happening in this area of life as well, Pisces. This is about educational pursuits as well. So going back to school, brushing up on your skill set, or maybe you are finishing up something and now it's time to apply that skill set at this new moon, or apply things that you've already learned in the past to a new job or a new adventure or a new venture. Or this could be about social media, the internet. This could be about short distance traveling, not so much long distance. I'm not saying you can't do that this month, but focus with the sun here and a new moon here could be about focusing in on your local environment, your local community, not so much about international ventures or adventures or partnerships or anything like that. It's think local versus think global this month, Pisces. So that's where I think the focus could be this month. And as I rambled off there, you do have a new moon, a new beginning in this area of life. It's at the end of the month. So, I mean, it really could happen at any time, but obviously closer to that day could be a possibility, or even after the 27th of April, even into May, this new beginning could take form or take shape for you. Also, if you have anything at 7 degrees of Pisces, this is also going to add in another layer. So if it's your sun sign, or if it's your sun, I should say, it's something to do with a new career, right? Something to do with career, business, vocation, whatever you do on a day-to-day, your life force, your vitality. If it's your moon sign, this is something to do with your home, family, foundation, your place of living. Could also be a new beginning on a female figure in your life, like a mother figure. Could also be a father figure if it is your sun sign. If it's your rising sign, it's something to do with you. It's your identity. Maybe something to do with your relationships, a new relationship, a new contract, agreement, negotiation, marital partnership, or marriage, something to do with that could be layered in or woven in with this new moon. Now, if you're not working, again, how do you get involved with your local community? Think local. Like, how can you make an impact on the local front? This is Taurus after all, so think nutrition, dietary things, food, giving finances, resources if you're able to, giving your time, your energy, your effort to a larger cause in your community. You know, a community garden or something along those lines. Like, pour your energy into your local environment, and that's where you're going to find and get the rewards back, Pisces. So that's the new moon. Now I want to jump to the full moon. Both luminaries this month. This is definitely a Venusian month ahead. And Venus is in your sign, Pisces. So this could get really personal to you. You could have quite an impactful month ahead. But Venus in your sign makes you very attractive. It's like a little magnet in your sign. You could attract in money, pleasure, resources, romance, partnerships. If you're already connected to someone, this is about bringing the spark back in your relationships, or taking a local trip, going to the farmer's market, going to the next town or the next city and exploring that, looking at property, planning for the future. Like, just, it's about pleasure, right? Venus is about pleasure, joy, what lights us up, right, Pisces? And if you're on your own, then again, it's about doing something that lights you up around these luminaries this month, so the new and full moon. So that full moon in Libra, again, this could be about a relationship. Full moons are endings, culmination points. Something is coming to a peak in this area of life. Now, this is a financial house for you, Pisces. Actually, the financial axis is being completely lit up this month. So this could be about taxes, debts, loans, mortgages, inheritance. This could be about, it is tax season after all, Pisces. So you could be getting back a rebate that's maybe bigger than you expected. Yeah, I keep hearing taxes, taxes, taxes. So I don't know, whatever that means for you. I know you can't get away from death and taxes, and that's the 8th house, Pisces. What else is here? What else is here? 8th house is big change. Big life shifts and changes could be coming in for you, Pisces. I mean, that already happened years ago with Saturn in your sign and Neptune in your sign, Neptune leaving your sign, Saturn's going to be leaving your sign. So talk about big life shifts for all the Pisceans out there. I have no doubt it's been a wild ride the last few years, especially with Saturn in your sign and then Neptune now exiting your sign. It's monumental. But anyway, getting back to this full moon, I'm going off on a tangent here. Full moon in the 8th house, big life shifts, big life changes. This is also psychological shifts too. This is about the shadow. This is about death and rebirth of something in this area of life. This is about shared assets, shared resources that you share with somebody, a business partner, a lover, a marriage, you fill in the blanks, okay? Anyone that you're connected to or share piggy banks with, whatever you want to call it, Pisces, that could be highlighted for you this month. This could be also about buying, selling property. I think we talked about that, or maybe we didn't talk about that. Yeah, new moon in the 3rd house could also be about property, buying, selling, with Taurus ruling your 3rd house, or again, like I said, changes in your neighborhood. 8th house is also intimacy, you know, getting closer with your partner, bringing back that spark, passion. This is a house of sex as well, Pisces, and this is a house, because it is the house of Pluto, fear, power, and control issues could be coming up around this full moon as well. So lots of stuff to digest and think about. I know, Pisces, I rambled off a lot of stuff here, but it depends on your personal circumstances, and hopefully one of those things rang true to you. At the end of the day, it is a financial house. It's more so though a spotlight on your partner's finances. Something needs to change or give with your partner's finances. For example, if he or she hasn't been working, or them have not been working in a long time, maybe it's time finally they get a job, right? They finally start working. Or maybe you finally start getting money in from those clients. You know, you own a business, run a business, and finally you're bringing in the cash, Pisces, because 8th house is money coming towards you from someone or something. So it could be, again, inheritance, alimony, partners, finances, or resources. If you went through a separation or divorce recently, this is about you getting your paycheck. You're getting your half of the share. You dissolved the business. This is you getting your half of the share. Full moons also highlight both axes. So again, we talked about that second house, right? The sun lighting up that second house. Well, this full moon on the 12th, give or take a day or two, depending on where you are. But again, getting a job, Pisces, finding new work, business endeavors, material possessions, buying, selling property, buying, selling, getting rid of things, excuse me, selling things that you don't need, cleaning out the closets, getting rid of things that you don't need, whether it's literal or, again, psychological, because the 8th house is very psychological. Also healing. I think I forgot to mention 8th house is all about healing as well. Transforming your health for the better, getting rid of things that, you know, this could be also about digestion, right? Eliminating foods that are not cooperating with your system, right? That could be a possibility as well with Aries on your second house. And Aries can be inflammatory, right? Spicy foods, caffeine, maybe it's like time to kind of take it easy. Heartburn comes to mind, things like that, Pisces. So I know lots to think about with these luminaries this month. Endings and new beginnings, regardless, on the financial front, your finances or a partner's finances, and possibly with relationships. Now, I want to go back to Venus. So Venus now is backed into your first house, and this is all about you. This is about your physical self, your physical body, your health and well-being, your vitality. This is about you being a magnet, like I mentioned, to whatever you want. Venus rules 3rd house, 8th house, where we already talked about those luminaries. So there's something here that you're reassessing, because Venus is backing up here into your first house. Beauty treatments, reassessing how you look. I'm going to give you the green light to move ahead with this once she moves direct, okay? But I would say, again, proceed with caution, because she's not out of shadow yet. She's out of shadow in May. So if you're looking to do the Botox, change your look, change your wardrobe, change your hair, change your style, anything like that going under the knife, I would recommend to wait till May. But if you can't, that's okay. She is going direct this month. So at least that is the positive thing. But otherwise, yeah, pump the brakes on stuff like that still. Similar message to last month, if I did mention it last month. But same with Mercury here, right? Mercury's going back and forth between your first and second house for a reason too. This could be jobs coming back around, communications coming back around, interviewing coming back around, something to do with buying and selling coming back around, contractual agreements coming back around. Yeah, rental agreements coming back around. Again, buying, yeah, I'm just going to repeat myself but yes, I see the signatures there that we already talked about. I'm seeing it multiple times. So possibility is great for those areas of life coming back around in a beneficial way, Pisces, and benefiting you in some way, shape, or form. Now, last but not least, Mars. Mars has been in Cancer for a very long time, about 4 months. This is a story that started way back in October of 2024, believe it or not. And now he is finally moving into Leo. But believe it or not, he's still not out of shadow. So he will be out of shadow next month, just like Venus. So I know this has been such a long haul with Mars in your 5th house. You know, this could have created some inflammation, some irritation on the home front. You know, whoever you live with, your parents, a loved one, your family, your kids, this can definitely cause irritation on the home front. Mind you, though, Mars in the 5th house, if you're single, could bring in definitely those sexual relationships, right? You could have actually had a lot of fun with this, Pisces. For those of you that are single, you could have got hot and heavy between the sheets with someone, right? Not for everyone, I can appreciate that, but Mars in the 5th house of romance and dating and pleasure and sex, yeah, it could have been full on for you for the last several months, Pisces. Or again, maybe this is cutting, ending, severing that romantic relationship or connection that you have, especially with people that you just met during a retrograde. Sometimes they don't hang out for a long period of time. But with that said, though, I've also heard stories of people meeting the love of their life, you know, with Venus or Mars retrograde. So I know it could go either way. It really, really depends. But the point is, anybody new that you started dating, Pisces, you're going to start seeing their true colors pretty shortly here. May, June timeframe, you might look at this person a little bit differently. But anyway, Mars moving out of your 5th house into your 6th house of Leo. Think back to December of 2024. This is the last time Mars was here at the early degrees of Leo. So you could be retracing old steps. Things could be coming back around. 6th house is, again, a very busy house like the 3rd house. So 6th house is all about work, coworkers, the work environment, the people that you work with, people that you work for. If you're a business owner, this is people that work for you. So maybe you're going to be cutting, ending, severing ties with people that you work with. There could be changes in the work environment. You might notice, you know, Mars again irritates, okay? Irritates and flames wherever he goes, but he makes us laser focused in this area of life. So you see what I mean? It could go either way, Pisces. It all depends on how you want to utilize this energy. But you might notice people in your environment might be a little bit harsh to deal with. They might be a bit cranky, but this will give you the power, the energy, the motivation, drive to just laser focus into what you want to do, what you want to focus in on. This is also power moves in the work environment, workspace, workplace, whether you own a business or run a business. If you own a business, again, this is people that work with you. You could attract in some really powerful people to work with you. But again, be prepared. They're going to have a pretty big personality, right? With Mars in Leo, the sign of the leader, the sign of the rock star, of the Hollywood star, whatever you want to call it, right? They might also bring in that drama and flair to the position as well, which again, depending on what type of person or personality you're looking for, that might work, right, Pisces? So anyway, if you're the boss, you run the show, okay? You slice and dice however you want to use this energy to bring in fresh new energy into the work environment. Or again, if you're working with somebody else, an employer, I'll leave it up to you. Maybe it's time to cut end or sever that contract with them and move on to something new. Or this is nose to the grindstone, Pisces, and just work away. Work, work, work. Do your thing. Do your magic. Also, Mars in here could bring your attention to health and well-being of the body. So do take care of that. I think I was mentioning earlier, like heartburn, spicy foods, caffeine, that could come up during this cycle as well. Also, your pets might need some extra special attention as well, Pisces. So do be mindful of that. They might get a rash, like I'm thinking irritation, bumps on the skin, I'm kind of feeling. So, because again, heat, right? Mars is heat. Leo is a fire sign. So again, it could just irritate something in their little bodies or your body, right? You could get the bumps and the lumps and the hot flashes and things like that, Pisces, right? It could go either way. Nothing to worry about though. Mars is going to bring attention to it, and Mars will again give you the motivation to get the help that you need. Mars in Leo is very driven, very willful. It's pretty tough to stop Mars in Leo, which is kind of a positive thing if it's channeled in the right way. Watch out for those power struggles in the workplace. Mars opposed Pluto. Watch out for the ego crap that could go on in the workplace. Pisces, I'm just throwing it out there. It could be you or another person. Again, it depends on if you're working or not working, or if you, even if you work in a virtual environment, I think you'll still feel it because again, it could be coming from a boss, an elder, somebody at a distance, you know, it really could come off at any angle, for example. And if you're not working, well, then this would be, what do you do on a day-to-day of being of service? You might run into this just being out in the public, right? Or volunteering or dog walking or whatever you do on a day-to-day basis, Pisces. Otherwise, that's all I was going to mention in this video. If you're curious about Neptune moving out of your sign into the sign of Aries, your second house, check that link out below in the description box. I go into way more detail. And also, if you want to brush up on Mars retrograde, Venus retrograde, you can check out those videos down below as well and learn a little bit more about their cycles. Otherwise, Pisces, enjoy the month ahead, and we'll see you back here in the next video. Bye for now.